If I bend my youth, would it come to me? Oh, love, won't you bat my eye? I miss the sweet garden men, baffle a skeleton dry. All they wanted was a villain, and all they had was me. All they wanted was a villain, so then they just took me. Hold my county lines, get down on my city floor. I will suffer no humans, they've been my habit before. Oh, how we, the common, must
All right. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. This always happens when I don't have a producer. All right. Well, it's not like any of us are on camera anyways, but welcome to another Speakeasy where we our speak is easy and easily do we speak. Still working on an intro for this and Street Smarts that I've been doing for a year. With me, almost as always now on these Speakeasies is the Oz Wonder Sam and Nick.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
I knew that was gonna fuck with y'all if I said Sam and Nick, because both of you are gonna try to say hi first. Nailed it. Anyway, what have you guys been up to?
Not much actually. It was our dad's birthday this week, and yesterday he was involved in a motorcycle accident.
Oh, that sucks, dude. Is he okay?
Yeah, he and his partner are okay. Turns out there was a bit more to the story. What happened is some arsehole in a stolen car came around in the right-hand lane and basically clipped the front of his wheel. Our father and his partner basically went flying off the bike. I think Dad got knocked out for a bit and basically was picked up, put in the ambulance. His partner was put in another ambulance and they went to the emergency. So we spent much of yesterday in the emergency room. Yeah, so it was quite a not a good day to be after the day after Dad's birthday. So
yeah. And he has a minor fracture in one of the vertebrae in his neck.
Oh man.
Bit of skin taken off from his arm and leg. And his partner, she has a very big bruise just above her left eye, and a very, very small amount of blood on the brain.
I mean, that can't be a very small amount. Like,
oh no, it's not good. I mean, it's not good. She had to stay overnight, but I mean, they're both home now, so it's all good.
Okay.
And basically, Dad's partner's basically got cuts all over her face. She's got a massive swollen knee, and it was such a friggin' mess. So we find out the car was stolen, and it was a hit and run. They ended up hitting the person. Yeah, they ended up hitting the person in front of them as well, and it was a complete mess because Dad's been riding motorbikes for about 50 years, and 50 years, and this is the first time he's ever had an accident, and it's not even his fault. So
that's insane, dude. By the way, I appreciate that Nick finally used a pronoun for the partner, because like I didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's the American in me. Like whenever I hear someone says my partner, I mean like, oh, okay, they mean gay.
I mean, partner sounds a bit weird, but fiance is a bit weird because I mean, Dad and his partner have been engaged for quite a while, but I don't even know if you'd call it officially engaged, just de facto.
Yeah. But like they've been together too long to say girlfriend?
Well, Dad's 70, so girlfriend sounds a bit weird too.
That does sound, yeah, okay, I get it. There's a cutoff for that. Whose dad was it, Nick or Sam's? Banana Dave with a banana fact. Oh, that's awesome. Man. Oh yeah. So I got a couple of invites out there. By the way, we're gonna give them a couple of minutes. We'll go banter. By the way, you guys like
people will start trickling in. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, what sucks though is you guys like as soon as you were like, oh, it was his birthday, my dad's birthday, I immediately had a joke that I was gonna go with, and then you followed it up with, and then he was in a motorcycle wreck. I'm like, God damn.
Well, that's it. It was just his birthday's on the 5th of March, right? And then the very next day, we were basically doing the weekend thing. We were
Yeah.
going to go to the shopping center to get like a coffee or something like that. And we were wondering where on earth they were because they were late. And it turns out we were thinking, oh God, I hope they haven't been in an accident. And it turns out, yes, they were in an accident. So
Yeah. Yeah. So say the joke. Go on.
Oh no, so it wasn't about that. It was about you two because you two are liars. Because when I asked if y'all wanted to do one on Friday, whatever day it was, all right? You said, "Hey, meet can't. It's our friend's birthday, so we're gonna hang out with him." Yeah, your friend is your dad.
No.
No.
So they just happen to have a birthday on the same day.
No. Hers is actually on the 6th, but we celebrated it on the Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess there's some holes in this story here.
Sorry, that's our Saturday.
I was so close to banning you guys, but I was like, no. I need y'all on Sunday.
I was tempted to go, please don't ban us.
No, you're all right.
My dad is not my friend.
No,
How
but
am I embarrassed
they're out
myself?
of
Am I missing
hospital now,
something?
and it's all good.
Plot
Yeah.
twist. Your father didn't want to go to the shopping. That's funny. And I'm gonna go ignore this. He knows why. Stop digging. Stop digging. The hole's already there. There's a big old plot hole. Anyway, good to see people coming on in now. Grant had to go to work, but he may come a little bit later. And I got a couple. Lethal maybe dropping by, and Mary as well, maybe.
Lovely.
Awesome.
So before too many people get in here, I wanted to share with everyone what I found. I showed you guys in the back. This is what I'm calling the shuffle, the casino shuffle. It's maybe like the whitest dance I've ever seen.
It's adorable.
And I'm from East Texas. Like I was Baptist, not the Baptists that aren't allowed to date. Like we were to dance. Like we were allowed to dance. Not that we could or we did. It was just like nobody was like mad if you did it anyway. So I'm going to be using that in everything. All right. So tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. And by the way, chat, don't freak out because you're gonna see images and they're gonna be talking about the sports ball. But the reason that we're going to be watching it has nothing to do with the actual topic of the football. It's the way that he is presenting his points, like in this video essay, because there's so many fallacies, and it just like I was yelling at my phone when I was watching this, and I wasn't watching this for this show. I just happened to like, oh, let me check this out, right? Because it was my feed or whatever, and oh my god. It is frustratingly bad, but you two just let me know. Oh, I wish it wasn't 2 a.m. That dance is what.
Oh, go on, stay up, live a little.
Oh, the breadstick. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. All right. So let's get this started. Again, guys, don't freak out. It's not about the topic.
Jim Harbaugh led San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round.
Right. Come
the
on.
New Orleans Saints coming off a shaky win against the Detroit Lions, overcoming a 4-point deficit.
By the way, he has that same YouTube voice going on, but is not as
Yes, it's very affected. It's very. Now I am going to talk about this. It's almost a bit David Attenborough-esque.
Well, it's not as poignant as like that other video I showed before we started, where the dude was using it, because like he was doing. Now listen to me do this. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit the like button. Share with your friends.
It's like a really
like some weird
screwed
sort of
up
robotic
Alexa.
Siri-esque.
Right?
Yeah, like a really screwed up Alexa. Yeah.
Like, by the way, this was whatever.
At the half and winning their final 8 games of the regular season, they were determined to keep their forward momentum and going head-to-head against the 49ers.
Who
a team
told
that
these
hasn't
people
been
that
to
this
the
voice
playoffs
is
in
the way
9
to do
years,
it?
Led by the likes of Patrick Willis and Dante Whitner, this would no doubt be a gritty, hard-hitting battle of attrition. But a bomb
No,
was
you are
taken-
right. It is not as pronounced as the other one that you showed us, but no, it's there.
It's there, right? It's just like, well, I don't
Yeah.
want to be too over the top with this.
I mean, one thing that Sam and I try and do in our videos is we try and sound a little bit more conversational.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because like if anybody comes up to me and they start talking like that, I'm gonna freak out. I'm like, well, why are you speaking like this? Like, are you a robot? Like, is this how
I felt the
aliens?
yeah,
same
I mean,
way.
The last thing
there
you want to do is confront someone and they say, "Hey there, Mad. How is everything going?
I know it's
Good.
very strange.
Don't
I mean,
forget to hit that like button on the way out."
this was
Right.
a while ago. This was a while ago, but we have. I don't know if she's still active, but we have this or had or have. I'm not sure whether she's still active, but we had this journalist who would usually read the news back in the
Oh, yeah.
80s and the 90s. Her name is Jana Wendt, right? And
Hey,
she would
yeah.
she would talk in this really weird people don't even do it anymore. It is the strangest thing to hear someone read. I mean, you'd have to listen to it yourself. It's almost like it's
Actually, I
like
wonder if I can find it.
it's like the journalistic equivalent of Siri. It's very weird. It's like there's a certain cadence or a certain lilt to the voice, and it's very peculiar. You can tell it's bunged on. It's really weird.
Well, speaking of hitting that bell, see that we have a few people watching. Don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell.
Yes, and hit the like button,
Yeah.
unwanted Ranger stepchild.
Oh man, what? Okay.
A dark secret that would soon come to light.
Dun,
What, you're
dun,
not you're
dun.
not familiar what Ranger
Seems-
is?
No, I figured
Okay,
like
I-
it.
Okay, Ranger is from orangutan, right?
Uh-huh.
It refers to someone who is ginger. So
Oh,
we
so-
call gingers Rangers here.
Yeah. So with the history of America, I don't know if I'm going to use that one because like it feels like it's not well, one, I don't like, me, I don't like redheads anyways. Not just the soul thing, but
Oh, and in case anyone misconstrues that, there are no R's in the word Ranger except the first one. That's Ranga. Ranger.
hold on. I'm not going to read this because it's not nice. He knows that I'm not going to read it next time, but I do like the command your female, which is funny because I burnt my hands the other day trying to, anyway, to add caramel M&Ms. Caramel M&Ms.
Is that?
Okay.
Sorry, I read it wrong. I thought he was talking about a person, because that's not how you spell caramel.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
caramel. Caramel.
That's caramel. That's
Sorry, was it
that's-
supposed to be caramel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Carmel,
that's
the lady who lives down the road.
yeah. Baby Outlaw's got it right. Caramel M&Ms are nasty. I kind of agree. Give me crispy M&Ms any day.
Wait, so who's photoshopped? What is football for Americans? Is football. I don't know what's happening. Like, I think it has the same letters as.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
It really doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No, that's ginger.
that's ginger. That's ginger, not Ranger. Jeez.
And there's a rumor going about that Hollywood is actually dyslexic. That's why they keep changing gingers to.
so like, oh, okay. So it's cool if
Allegedly,
you
allegedly.
well, so it's cool if you call a redhead a Ranga, but not a Ranger. You don't want to use the hard R. Is that what we're saying?
Australians never use the hard R. It's not natural.
We don't really have a hard R.
So
it's
I
not
believe they're.
it's not Ranger. It's just Ranger.
All right. I'm
But
not going to
G
try
is
to.
in sting.
I'm not gonna. So real quick, I don't think they're talking about the colors of the M&Ms. CRISPR is a type of M&M, and I guess caramel would be an M&M feeling like peanut butter. Unless I don't know, like maybe. Oh, there was a band. I forgot who it was, but like in their contract, whenever they did a concert or whatever, they would have it in like you could only have red M&Ms in there or whatever, and they did it to see if people were reading the actual contract or the things. The green chili M&M. How did we get on this whole M&M thing? Further spelling, please.
Baby Outlaw, yes, it is a non-rhotic accent. A little bit like Boston in America.
Yeah, a little bit like Boston. Yeah, that's right.
A little bit, yeah. I always like, so the Canadian accent to me feels like an Irish accent, but that's monotoned. Does that make
See,
sense?
Soul Assassin's got it. What up, Marangers? Yeah, that's a good one.
What am I ring? Man. Ringa Izzle. Oh, dude, I bought this water, man. It's called Thug Izzle. I don't know if you've ever heard of Thug
Is that the
Izzle water.
actual brand?
Yeah, dude, Thug Izzle. It's not bad. I can't tell the rest of that. But let's keep going. I want to
Defensive
so
coordinator
bad.
Greg Williams held a team meeting a night before the playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, so here's
and
where it
gave
comes
an
in.
impassioned speech to his defensive players. A speech filmmaker, Sean Pamphilin, managed to record in its entirety, a recording that contained the Saints' grim secret. Instructing his players to injure quarterback Alex Smith, running back Frank Gore, tight end Vernon Davis, Michael Crabtree, Kyle Williams, and running back Kendall Hunter.
Okay, so real quick, I want to make sure that you guys are hearing this, right? He said that in this audio, you can hear him telling his players to injure these players. Just
If
keep that in mind.
completed, a large payday awaits. A team of bounty hunters who would go on to target some of the biggest names in football.
Oh, and also, so he's claiming that not only is the audio, you can hear the defensive coordinator telling his players to to injure them, but that they would get paid for doing so.
And become the subject of one of the largest scandals in NFL history.
I don't know. Can scandals be small? I guess.
On January 15, 2009, the New
Mm,
Orleans Saints
I
hired
suppose so.
defensive
I mean,
coordinator.
I suppose a small scandal would be, like who's stealing your semi-skim milk from the office fridge.
And a large one would be like, why did they even go after OJ? He clearly didn't do it.
Yeah, or an even larger one. Why did Hillary Clinton hide all those emails?
Okay, all right. Hold on. All
But
right,
that's
listen.
getting weird.
Yeah. Mama, I believe she's friends with Mama Susan. So, hey, Sean, see you later, bro.
Wookiee supremacy. Orange
Wookiee
kangaroos
supremacy.
called rangaroos. I really hope so too. I think
Ooh,
that's
I
really
like that one.
fantastic. We've already
We're-
got red kangaroos, so I'm surprised nobody's caught onto that. We should start calling them rangaroos.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Hold on. I am gonna send something to somebody real quick. Here, let me play it because you guys aren't gonna talk.
Greg Williams. To help
I didn't mean that
provide
in a
the
bad way. Like, you're not gonna talk about
lackluster
this,
defense,
is what I was
which
saying.
ranked 23rd in the league. Sean Payton vehemently believed William was the missing piece that would surely bring them the Lombardi Trophy.
Again,
A
guys,
redemption year for New
for the people
Orleans
freaking out that it's
following
football, we're not
Hurricane
worried about the football. We're
Sean
worried about the
Payton was
way
so
he's
impressed with Greg Williams
he
that
crafts
Payton
his
voluntarily
essay.
took a $250,000 pay cut just to sign him. As an offensive coach, I have game planned against his defenses in the past, and I know the problems they create. He's an aggressive coach. but
Pee
his
Wee
units
Herman
are
is
always
most
sound
scandal.
fundamentally.
I heard it was
We have some
decent
pieces
size.
in place for him to work with, and I know he's excited to get started. Williams, previously with the Washington Redskins from the 2004 to 2007 season, his aggressive blitz-heavy defense
actually,
consistently ranked
Wookiee
within the top
is
10
one of
in
our
the
biggest
NFL.
supporters. He
was
always
also the
watches
head
like
coach
pretty
of
much
the
everything we
Buffalo
put out,
Bills for
man.
3 seasons
Really
from
appreciate it. I'm just
2001
not going to
2003,
acknowledge him
and the
because he
defensive
never says
coordinator for
anything
the
nice.
Tennessee Titans from 1997 to 2000. Nicknamed the conductor of
Oh,
aggression,
dude, have you seen this?
Williams'
It's
blitz-heavy schemes
absurd.
and hard-hitting, no-mercy defense struck fear into opposing offenses. Williams was systematic and
All right.
willing to give up any and everything to gain an edge on the field, specializing in taking players that may not have been the most athletic or talented.
Does
and
anybody
turning
else
them into
find him
vicious and
boring?
relentless defensive
A bit,
playmakers.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Not just like the subject, just like him.
Intense desire to win and gain an edge on the
The
field
narrator's
blurred the
boring
lines
as
of
hell,
morality.
but
And questions began
Bro,
to
this
arise
is,
at the start of New Orleans Saints
This is
playoff
one of
run
the like
and the
Hey,
most
Grant, how's it
popular
going?
streams.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, I just thought I'd just jump on and let you know that I'm just about ready to head off to work, so I'll be gone for a few hours.
All right,
So,
brother. No
yeah.
problem.
I'll be listening. So
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah,
you continue to entertain. And holy shit, you got like 80 people watching.
Yeah. It's. I mean, we always do when we do this, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not surprised.
No, why would you be? Like, look at it. Paid viewers.
Hey,
Yeah.
Paulie, how's it going?
Dude, I do not computer well at all. Like, I wouldn't even know how to go about finding a view farm. Is that what they're called?
It could be.
I don't know. Anyway,
I gotta go.
all right, brother.
See you later.
Don't forget to hit that like button. What is happening?
Yeah, that is a good reminder. Hit that like button, everyone.
Okay.
Yep.
See you later.
Hey, guy.
Hey,
Hi,
yo.
how's it going?
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
Filthy.
Doing great, man.
Good, good.
Let me switch back to normal here. There we go.
By the way, I love how quick everyone's like 85 people. No, Matt sucks. Even though we're here, why would anybody else want to watch him? Again, I don't know what it is, man. We've been looking at the analytics, and apparently, like, we have been like suggested as a video on some really big streams, but they're like from the not that one anymore, but like Yugoslavia or whatever,
Well,
or
that's
some of the other
okay.
ones.
The thing is, it all helps.
Yeah, exactly, right.
This guy is crazy boring, though. Like, really.
Yeah. Well, so the whole point of this, though, is not the topic so much, right? But it's the way he presents it, because it gets very interesting. Like, almost like right after this, like, this is just giving you the background of the main guy, the defensive coordinator. Under 10, man. Why do you think I ignore you?
Against the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, led by the 38-year-old quarterback Kurt Warner. Warner had nearly
Kurt Warner,
4,000
they just did a
passing
movie
yards
about him.
and 26 passing touchdowns.
I
on
think
the
this
season.
dude is
Greg
taking
Williams was
all the
always
Ambien.
searching for a team's Achilles heel, and in this case, Kurt
Dude, this
Warner's
guy
age
could like make
was
the
the
most
heel.
exciting movie sound
With the
boring.
Saints having the likes of Jonathan Vilma, Roman
I mean, that's
Harper,
basically
what he's
and
doing.
Sharper, easily
we
three of
follow
the
a bunch
hardest
of,
hitters in the league. Williams
kind of
wanted to
military
see just
people into
how
the
much more
jungle,
life Warner
and there's
had
some
in him,
invisible
and he
force
was soon
that's
fine.
just murdering.
Well,
Uh,
what's crazy is he's doing the YouTube voice, the essay voice, but like it's kind of subtle though, which defeats the whole point of trying to do that voice, because you're trying to keep people's attention by using inflection. You know, like what Blues Traveler taught us. Remember Blues Travelers?
Blues
Find
Traveler.
out.
Hook.
In a team
Yes.
meeting
Always
the
brings
night
you back.
before the game, Williams stated, Warner should have been retired. We're going to end the career tomorrow of Kurt Warner. Warner was hit all night.
Okay, so this is important, right? What did he say earlier before the 49ers game? On audio, it was caught that he said, these are the players we're going to injure, and you'll get paid if you do it, right? So now he's on this game, and he's saying that they had a bounty on Kurt. And then he quoted the coach by saying what? That they're going to retire him. That just sounds like football talk. That just sounds like people. Yeah, because we're getting to a point of this. Again, it's not about the video. It's about the way he presents it. Alrighty.
Each shot was more vicious and violent than the
Because the thing is, like, the way he presents his case on this is indicative of all the other topic. The essays are like presenting any argument, right? I'm using this one because it's not the subject is not as serious as what we normally would cover. Like, it's not. No one gives a shit. Half the people in here don't even like. Well, over half don't even like football or sports in general. So the reason I'm using
True.
this is that we don't
Yeah.
actually have to adjust. We don't have to address the actual subject itself. We are just looking at the
You're looking at the guy's argument.
right, the way it's constructed.
last. In Warner's 12th season in the NFL, this may have been his most punishing game yet. The play that would cause some raised eyebrows and accusations of sinister intent
Sinister
occurred
intent.
with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Kurt Warner, under pressure, forces the ball into coverage and is intercepted by defensive end Will Smith. And as Smith returned the ball, defensive end Bobby McRae saw an opportunity and decided to take full advantage of it, delivering one of the most vicious hits of Warner's 12-year career,
Okay.
sending Warner
So for those that don't know, yeah, that is a bad hit, right? I'll give him that one. That one's a little low, but it happens.
several feet into the air. You see the disorientated Warner lying on the field as his horrified wife watches from the stands. Darren
So what
Sharper
he's
would say
doing
that was
now
the
is
game-
like he is
No offense, but she didn't really look all that
No.
horrified.
no, everything is very hyperbolic with him, right?
Yeah.
Like he's exaggerating everything. He's trying to hit you on an emotional level. You see, he got laid out because of Bounty Gate, and look, his wife is horrified on the. I'm not even 100% sure that was his wife because, like, I remember her having like a flat top forever.
Mm.
game-changing play the defense was
Maybe she
looking
let her
for.
hair grow out. By this
Warner
point.
was briefly sent to the locker room and returned later
Yeah,
that game.
this was before
This would be
the
last game of Warner's career,
CTE.
with many theorizing that McRae's hit
By the way, so he goes, many people theorizing.
may have been the reason for it. Warner realizing he could no longer take hits like that may have been one of the prime reasons for his departure. The Saints
Okay, he was 38 years old. 38. He retired because in football years he was 117. Oh God, now I gotta address this. Okay, so no, why would you have a bounty gate if the NFL was rigged? Why would you be incentivizing players to play better if the outcome is already determined? The way you have to look at like conspiracy theories, a lot of
Bro,
times it's
haven't
like,
you
okay,
seen Speed Racer? The Speed Racer movie?
well, listen. So you have to look at it as this, right? How many people would have to know about this and keep it secret, and for how long, right? So I'll give you, like, let's say just the past 40 years, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of players on the team. Well, not hundreds of players, sorry. There's like, I think active rosters, what, 52, 55, something like that, right? Not to mention, but the staff that works for the organization as well. And you're talking across 33 different teams. You're reporters, there's so much press that's on them. If it was rigged, how are they able to keep so many players? Oh, and not to mention a lot of people not happy with the NFL over the years either. That is way too many people, because the Saints winning a ring was the feel-good story of 2009. Right, but
Sorry,
that
just Bookie's comment, magnetic gloves, bro.
oh, people know the Saints were doing this, but waited
Oh,
until well after that to do something. But listen, no. All right, listen. Correlation does not mean causation. Just because they won after the Katrina, that's a feel-good story, bro. Like the Patriots won after 9/11 as well. But that doesn't mean it was rigged. If that's the basis of your argument that the NFL is rigged, you're making a very, very large accusation. So you're going to need to provide proof that matches the level of the accusation that you're making. That's just pure speculation on my part, but damn, it must be true. All right, man.
defense dominated, winning the game 45-14. Concerns began to circulate around the league about Greg Williams' dark intentions during the game.
God.
But again, at this point, it was all speculation. But soon, this speculation would become justified when the New Orleans Saints faced off against the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship
Okay, so this is going to justify the speculation.
game. Williams facing another future Hall of Famer nearing the end of his career. This was another prime opportunity to showcase his
Hang on. What do we got here? Refs help fix games. 1 or 2 coaches, 1 or 2 players, fewer than 5 individuals can fix a game. Okay, 1 or 2 players. I mean, what? 1 player on defense, 1 player on offense, 1 on each team. Each team have 1 player or 2 players that are in. Which players get chosen and why? Like the thing about football, though, there are so many players that are involved in how the play turns out. Like, how are you going to rig it with just 1 or 2 players? Quarterback, yeah, throw interceptions, sure, man. But the defense would have to catch it, right? Like, even if we're saying
Matt Mardigan, you've seen what's that movie called again? The Longest Yard. You've seen The Longest Yard,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah,
he got sent to jail for rigging a game, and then
Hold
during the
on,
game,
hold on, bro.
the jail
No, he
warden
wasn't
tried
rigging
to
the
rig it
game.
again.
He wasn't rigging the game. It was
One
shaving
player,
like
all
he
it
was. No, he was trying to fix the score to win in gambling. That's not rigging to have the outcome. The players who need money wouldn't even be on the field, bro. They would not be in a position to where they can rig a whole game.
What about the
The last
warden
Boy
though?
Scout. Tell you
The
what,
warden
if we
got
can get
the refs and then it took him out the game.
Kai,
then
you were
that was
referring
it.
to a Adam Sandler movie as your proof that the NFL is rigged. The
That
Last
movie
Boy
was a
Scout-
remake of a classic. Thank you very much. It was a remake.
Were you referring to the remake
Burt
or the
Reynolds
other one?
Classic. Burt Reynolds. Well, I was referring to the remake, but it's the most recent.
Okay, that's why I said you're referring to a movie with Adam Sandler. The Last Boy Scout, good movie. Active extreme denier. What am I denying? No one is. There's nothing to deny. Am I denying that the movie was a movie and was fiction? Nope. I agree with that. But that's not proof that the NFL is rigged by saying, well, in this movie once. Anyways, the point is, one or two player that needs money, they're not going to be on the field because NFL players get the water boy. Okay, I'm done. Done.
Aggressive defense to the world and test the 40-year-old Favre's Iron Man reputation. In a team meeting the night before
Here we
the
go.
game, that old man should have retired when I was there. Is he retiring? That whole thing is over. Tomorrow. We'll end the career tomorrow. We'll force him to retire. Favre threw for
Okay, so there you go again, right? Now, mind you, he's quoting him, right, from these meetings or whatever. The same one that he said that you heard him tell which players to target and that they're going to get paid for doing it. But yet we have only seen quotes that are like just like aggressive, competitiveness.
4,000.
It's hyperbole,
100 yards and had 33 passing touchdowns that season and showed no signs of slowing down. Little
That's
did he
not
know that
entirely
he was
true
the
at all.
next target in one of the largest scandals in NFL history. Before the game,
And
Jonathan Bill
he does that thing where he repeats it multiple times so it sticks in your head. So you think largest scandal in history, in NFL
Pro Bowl
history.
middle linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, offered $10,000 to anyone that knocks Brett Favre out of the game. The adage, money motivates, was on full display. This would be one of the most punishing games of Brett Favre's life. Similar in many ways to Kurt Warner's experience in the divisional round.
Also, remember
Williams
his wife?
missed what seemed like every other play. And even on run plays, Favre somehow ended up on the ground wincing in pain. With 4 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in the first quarter, after handing off the ball on an end around to Percy Harvin, the Saints defensive end lowers his shoulder and lays Favre out.
Yeah, bro, it's football. Sorry, man. You were in his way. You were trying to block him. Like, that's what you do. If you're going to try to block
That's
me,
what you're supposed to do.
you're going to get ran over. Yeah. That's
like you're
I
playing
don't
golf,
see anything wrong with
you
it. I'm in for it. What
And
happened?
what's the rule? It's anything above the waist, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
no.
Maybe the rules.
no,
Maybe the rules are
it's,
different here because I thought shoulder charges were a no-no, but I'm
No,
not sure.
shoulder charges are a no-no here, and also I think there's also a rule about you're not allowed to lift someone off the ground.
Oh, hey, dude. Hey, if V-Dub wants to, he's doing his own stream. Well, if V-Dub gets done with that, man, I would love to have him on. He's been on this channel before. I'm not a Saints fan. I'm not a Saints fan. Like, I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm asking you guys to prove what you're claiming. I'm not making any claims here. I'm not making any accusations. You guys are, but you are only presenting movies. That's what I do.
movies.
What
Good
bubble have you
movies.
popped, bro? Telling me that you two talked about it for hours, again, is not proof.
That defensive end was none other than Bobby McRae, the same player who delivered the blindside block on Kurt Warner. McRae would soon earn the nickname Quarterback Killer.
Hey Nina,
This
how's
was
it
by far
going?
one of the worst meetings
Who's here now?
Quarterback
Nina.
killer. He even
Oh
said,
my gosh.
"Hey Nina."
No. Hey, don't chat it.
Yo,
You're my
you know what?
Chatimal. Don't you start with me, Soul Assassin. You know I'm a cowboy.
Man, I got a question. How come everyone calls you Mads? Like Nina says, whatever Mads is saying is wrong. But you're mad, not Mads. Mads Mama Bear, right, is a different
Well-
person. Everyone keeps calling you
because
Mads. Is it because of your
I
motherly
believe it's
energy,
like-
or what is it?
No, it's because the common uses of the name Mads is MADZ, like Mads Mikkelsen, and saying Mad, the way it sounds, like you just stop like right there. It feels like there should be a at the end of it. Does that make sense?
No. But
Don't
okay.
know. Sam, Nick,
I don't think it really matters so long as we all know who we're talking about.
yeah. And now it's too
I'm
far
gonna
to
tell Mads Mama Bear
As a
on
quarterback.
Nina that you said that anything she says is wrong. I'm screenshotting this. I'm gonna tell her.
I misspelled. We're not talking sports, Shellback. Again, we're just looking at the way he constructs his essay because it's indicative of almost all of them that you see.
Back has ever taken, and it wasn't over. With roughly 2 minutes left in the second
Yeah,
quarter,
so
Brett Favre, under pressure, forces the ball into coverage, where it is intercepted by Jonathan Vilma. But as Favre lets go of the ball, you see Bobby McRae once again dive at Favre's ankle.
once again dive at his ankles. We didn't see him dive at his ankles before, right? But check it out, right?
But as Favre lets go of the ball, you
So what they cut out though is he's not diving, dude. He's falling in there. He's going for the
see
legs.
Bobby McRae once again dive at Favre's ankles as Remy Yodelay tackles him down. McRae would be fined $20,000 for his illegal hits during the game. The Saints won the game 31-28 in overtime. The storyline portrayed to the public was the New Orleans Saints fighting back from the effects of Hurricane Katrina to make it to their first Super Bowl. But the real storyline was much, much darker. In 2 consecutive weeks, the Saints had taken blatant cheap shots on the opposing team's quarterback, shots that were no doubt intended to
Again, that is no different. Like that happens across whatever.
injure. But this storyline wouldn't hit the media for another 2 years. The Saints went on to win the
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Bowl,
yeah.
winning 31-17 against the Indianapolis Colts.
That
bringing
should be
the
it
first
for
Lombardi
this.
trophy to New
part.
Orleans. But the suspicions regarding Greg Williams and his
There we
NFL regarding
There we
this
go.
bounty program. But just how did this bounty program work? Let me give you the rundown. It would start with a large pool of money collected from players and coaches, and each week before games, bounties would be announced. The bounty system paid $1,500 for knocking players out of a game.
All right, so we can skip this whole section because he's just going over how it's structured, but and like how much like you get per like whatever you do, right? So he's laying it out, right? What we need to see is
Retracted their allegations.
where he's
While
getting
it's
this
safe
from.
to assume during Williams' tenure with the New Orleans Saints that bounties were placed before every game, we will be only
I mean,
covering
am
the
I being
incidents that are
deliberately dense? But is he actually at all showing us video footage of these incidents?
No, of what
Or
of
are
them?
these just, of them quote unquote breaking the rules?
Well, the hits that they were fined for, he's showing that footage.
Yeah.
But we have yet to hear the audio that he was talking about. But this, hold on,
Hmm.
this right here is the exact reason why I wanted to do this.
coaches all denying
So
the
it's just,
existence of
I don't
any
really know
bounty.
what I'm looking for. Like I'm just seeing
Yeah. Don't worry
two-
about that.
big-ish men running into each other.
Exactly. Hold on, but this is what really got me.
Bounty system, and the whistleblower later retracted their allegations. While it's safe to assume during Williams' tenure with the New Orleans Saints that bounties were placed before every game, we will be only covering the incidents that are confirmed or almost guaranteed a bounty was placed. The next
Okay, so he said that. All right, what did he say? He said that we can't assume, we can't, that they were bounties were placed before every game, but we are only going to be covering the ones that are verified and or we can
notable
guarantee.
confirmed bounty takes us
So
to the
that there is a
2010
promise.
Yes, here we go.
wild card game between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Although a bounty was placed on Hasselbeck for an undisclosed amount, the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks did a great job protecting him for most of the night, absorbing only a handful of hits, with the only notable play being when Scott Channel shouldered Hasselbeck after the play, sending him to the turf.
Oh, come on.
Okay, all right. You can't tell me that did not just look like I know nothing. Yeah, we're not. I'm not just gonna keep repeating it.
Sorry, to me that looked like one of those you know in what you call soccer.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
it's a
player
flop.
just a player just does a little wave and then or blows on someone else and then they fall over going Ugh!
Yeah, it's called a flop, man.
Sorry, yeah, it's just a little tap and like, oh, suddenly I'm down. Bloody
Yeah.
drama queens.
So this bounty was a failure. The next notable bounty entry was on Aaron Rodgers in Week 1 of the 2011 season.
What was wrong with his face? Did you see that?
It looked like one of those weird
Like it
what do they
was
call them?
like it was superimposed upon this
Yeah,
player.
yeah, that's it.
Deep fakes.
Yeah, deepfake.
Yeah.
The
That's
next
the word.
notable bounty entry was on Aaron Rodgers in Week 1 of the 2011
What
season.
is that?
The bounty was said to be worth
Hmm.
$5,000.
Fucking weird.
It looks
One
like
of
some
the
sort
most
of
aggressive-
uncanny valley shit going on. What's going
Right?
on?
That was weird, man. I don't like that at all.
Hits on Rodgers for the night, but failed to do any real damage. As for Donald Driver, that's a different story.
Hang
Coming
on.
across the $1,000. One of the most aggressive plays of the game was Jonathan Casillas on a blitz, slamming Rodgers to the ground like a rag doll.
Okay. Again, there was nothing wrong with that whatsoever, right?
Yeah,
So if you're saying
how do you slam a guy to the ground when you're hanging in midair?
well, no, he did. Like he twisting around. But the point is, like, you're saying that this is like you're showing like, oh, in this play, you know what I mean? Like that gets like that's not out of the
Casillas had two of
ordinary.
the most violent hits on Rodgers for the night, but failed to do any real damage. As for Donald Driver, that's a different story. Coming across the middle, he gets laid out by Malcolm Jenkins.
Yes,
While
he
Driver
does.
did stay in the game, Malcolm Jenkins made a quick $400 for the hit.
Okay, cool. Now are you going to show us how you know this?
Wasn't that what he was supposed to do?
That's exactly
Next
what
on
we're
the
supposed
list
to do.
is Jay Cutler, quarterback from the Chicago Bears. This one is a bit different as it is based on accusations from Chicago.
What did he say?
He said earlier. He said that he was only going to cover confirmed
Yeah,
cases.
correct. Yes.
So what the hell is this accusations bullshit?
Right. So this one is like this is based on accusations. Oh, okay.
Then it's completely irrelevant. We're looking at confirmed cases. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can skip this one, right?
Chicago Bears players rather than hard evidence. But there was no
By
reason.
the way, he has yet to present that hard evidence.
Rather
Reason why
than
Greg
hard
Williams
evidence,
would
he says.
exclude Jay-
Rather than hard evidence.
No, no, no.
That's what-
This one is based
This guy-
on accusations
Right,
rather
No,
than
no,
hard
no, that's what I
evidence.
said. He said, yeah, based on accusations rather than hard evidence. It's like, so no hard evidence then. Okay.
Yeah, for this one, but he didn't show any hard evidence on the other one. He just told us like, and he made $400 on this one.
Cutler from the bounties. And the amount of hits Jay Cutler took this game makes you understand where the accusations of bounties are coming from. Cutler was sacked 6 times and hit countless other times. There was also a
Okay, hold
claim
on.
that a Saints player kicked Cutler in the throat.
Listen, all right. He said that, right? The amount of hits he took makes it seem like he did have a bounty. He was sacked 6 times, bro. It sounds like you have a shitty offensive line that can't block for you. That doesn't mean anything.
causing him to lose his voice. While initially having trouble finding when and if this occurred, I eventually found the play in question. With 14
All right.
minutes left in the third quarter,
Check it out.
you see Jay Cutler walking and touching his throat as he looks over at the sideline.
Yeah.
Upon closer examination, you see when Cutler is tackled. He falls on the back of one of the defensive lineman's cleats, immediately grabbing his throat. While more than likely a bounty was enacted on Cutler, there's no way to say whether this was intentional or unintentional. You do see the lineman move his legs as he hits the ground to line up where Cutler is falling. Let me know what you think of the
Did you just hear what he said? Look at this man face in the ground. And Jay Cutler's behind him. He's saying that you do see him line up his feet to where he is falling. Anyway. I got you. No one else is bothered by that?
No, it's just weird. I mean, is there a way you can sort of rewind it and maybe like slow it down?
Oh, we can go frame by frame.
comments below. However, You do see
Everyone
Intentional
knows
or
that
unintentional?
football players are like cats, and they can change their body orientation in midair. So
Because
you know,
I'm
that's
I'm
a
not
thing.
I'm not really seeing anything quote unquote unusual, you know.
That's my point. Here we go.
Cutler is tackled. He
So
falls
he's
on
in
the
the
back
air,
of one of the defense
and then
Right.
he does the cat thing, and then he changes.
All right, so he's saying that that's not enough. All right, so he is saying
examination. You see when
that
Cutler
after this, right, and the guy falls, right? So he is face down in the dirt, and Jay Cutler, he is saying that the dude on the ground, face down on the ground, facing
he's not-
the
he's not
opposite
facing-
direction.
He's not face down anymore. He's I believe he's facing us. But
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not seeing anyone's feet go
It's-
anywhere near his throat. If that's what's
So it's 99, right? The guy, I don't know why I'm pointing at it with my pinky, like you fucking can see it. The guy who is facing, like, well, his body is turned to the grass, right?
Mm.
You can put your mouse
He is
over
saying
it.
that. Oh yeah, right here. This guy, he's saying that this guy on the ground somehow lined up, even though it looks like he's getting up already, lined up his feet so that Jay Cutler would fall on them.
No, I didn't see that at all.
You know why? Because it didn't fucking happen.
Mm. It just looked like just a tumble of bodies to me, like completely, you know, yeah, non-scripted.
Oh, dang it. That's not what I meant. Ooh, I was about to send out an invite to everyone. Like I was about to, I almost did it again. Like I was about to post it. Hold on.
I've seen Christy do that.
Oh yeah, there's been people that do that on accident.
Vigilante Williamson.
Oh, hey, Vids, I sent you the invite, bro. Yeah, I sent you the invite. Sorry, man, I'm by myself. All of my producers apparently are taking the night off. Speaking of which,
I could do producer for you. Just send me
That's
your
all right.
password.
Hey,
Hey.
Send me all your passwords.
hey.
hey, man, long time, bro. Good,
Yeah,
I'm an IT guy.
glad you got to come on.
Howdy,
yeah.
dude.
You haven't been at the cocktail lounge, so we're starless. So it's like, oh no, I
Yeah.
guess I got to do it because you were the co-host and now we're down the co-host. I got to re-hook. I'm the new co-host again. But I appreciate you having me on,
That
man.
was hilarious.
Of course, man.
B-dubs. He's muted, right?
No, but he really did kind of become the co-host of the show. Like that wasn't a. He
Oh, yeah,
jokes
yeah.
about it, and then he actually does it. So I respect that.
I've done it on a couple. I did it on Toxic Tuesday with Nick.
Mhm.
I became co-host, and by the way, I'm trying to do it with Jeff over at War Class Bullshitters.
Do it.
Yeah, I changed my name to the
Trying to do what?
co-host because there's like 4 of them.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, I've been on there a few times, and we're gonna start playing that new. Hey, are you getting the new WWE?
I'm debating it, man. These, I know they redid it. Supposedly, they did not just because they didn't release one in a couple years, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. Yeah,
I'm wait and see. I'll let you guys get it. If you guys can say it doesn't suck, I
Yeah.
probably will grab it.
well, so we're gonna be streaming it on Twitch over with on Jeff's thing. But
Okay, cool.
the reason I got it was like I was asking Jeff. I sent him a DM. I was like, "Hey man, are you gonna get this game?" And he's like, "Ah." I was like, "Well, I do appreciate how like they recognize that this shit was just a complete failure, right?
Yeah.
And that they decided to take that time to actually try to fix it and rebuild, because it's something that you will never fucking see EA do with
Oh,
any
I
of
was just talking
their
about
sports
this.
games."
Man
Right?
would never do it, and they need to. I
Never.
literally had this conversation earlier with my brother, and I talked about it on stream. Madden needs to just go like within 4-year intervals, release roster
Oh.
packs in between,
Okay,
and
yeah,
take 4 years to develop each game instead of developing each year. So
I
you
would-
just have
Yeah.
go.
I
Yeah.
would be excited if it just took
I would-
2 years.
Shit,
And-
anything.
Well,
Year,
because-
because they're not even making a new fucking game each year.
Thank
2
you,
years is
Wookie.
really all that
Wookie
you would
supremacy.
need,
Hold on, this is a big
honestly.
moment, Kai. This big moment. I'm acknowledging him again. Wookie supremacy with a very nice chat. Finally, Mardigan, V Dubs, Kai, and the clones. Great panel. That's right.
Clones?
I love they call them the clones. I gotta call them the
Well,
clones
yes,
from now
you
on.
know,
Getting the clones.
biological, real life clones.
Bro, I
my-
would love to have all of them on Street Smarts, but I'll tell you right now, I have two problems. Either one, everyone's like doing something in the back, or they're being quiet and no one's jumping in, so I have to go in, or everyone wants to talk at once. So to have 4 more guys come into this insane shit that we're already doing, it would be too much. I would have them on a speakeasy anytime though.
All
But
you
let's
really
see
have to
what's
do
going
is just, was it lay down the law before the stream starts and just say, hey, this is how it's going to happen. I'm going to put you all in a certain order, and we're going to go from one person to the next.
By the way, you know how many
That'll
times
work.
I've been getting ready to go on somebody's stream, and they're like, "Okay, guys, let's just make sure we don't talk over each other." And then as soon as this starts, it's just chaos. Yeah.
Or at the very least, maybe introduce some form of, buzzer system.
Ooh. Or
But
like
then, but then again, the whole thing would just be.
yeah. Everybody gets trying to hit the buzzer first, right? They do
Yeah.
this with the UFC game.
Dude, I had a buzzer on my game show, and people don't stop buzzing it. It doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Sorry, am I
we'll do it.
delayed?
Oh, no, not too much. I would fuck with Kai because like I would hit it at random times. Oh, sorry, man, you got to reset my buzzer. That's my bad. Instead of nowhere.
So you already
But,
know the pitfalls.
yeah, exactly. But as far, by the way, Vince, I wanted to bring up like with the whole Madden thing. Like that's one of the reasons why it was so disappointing to see that that EA was able to get the rights to the Player Association and to the NFL because it cut out Sega.
2K. Yeah.
Yeah, it cut out 2K. And it was a superior game, bro. It was $20 cheaper. And by the way, it still has
2K5?
features.
Yeah.
Yep. It still has features that Madden has not been able to recreate.
Not only that,
Since
2K5,
2005.
if you remember, they changed the way Madden played to match 2K5.
Yes.
Like I think then the field goal system changed. A few things changed to
Quite a
match
bit, yeah.
2K5. Yeah, that was
And
a great
what
game.
It was a
It
superior
what was-
series.
was $20,
everywhere.
and it was just
What was great about it though is they also they would try new things like first person view. It sucked.
yep.
It would make you sick, but they because of that competition, it fueled that innovation between the two companies. Same thing with the WWF and the WCW during Monday Night Wars, right? The reason why it was so great was because they were trying to outdo the other one. Once you lose that and it becomes monopolized, like what you have is someone like the Madden game, all they have to do is update the rosters. And most of the time, if they're going to add a feature, they usually take something out of the game.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Which is stupid, but it's evil.
And-
it's the NFL's fault, by the way, because
Oh, what do you mean?
well, because the NFL could they could say no, we're not going to just give you an exclusive license. They could charge whatever they want for these licenses and just make them non-exclusive.
Yeah.
They're the NFL. They're the ones with all the clout. You know what I mean? And they could just make money off all these companies. But instead, I don't know if somebody's giving someone the old reach around, but
of course.
whatever happens is like, and I mean, I know that license is expensive now. It's like billions of dollars, but it's like, look, y'all could just make it non-exclusive. Still probably charge a lot of money for it. And at least other big game devs will have to compete. And 2K could probably afford the license. And then you have multiple games out there, which they used to. They used to have NFL Street. I think that was EA, but they had all these different games, Blitz, Quarterback
man.
Club. And now they
Sony
don't-
had their own. They had their first party.
Mm-hmm. Now I just got
Yeah,
one.
989 Sports or some shit used to be a thing.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
989 Sports.
Yeah. Well, so I think the license just came up again, like the contract they had or whatever expired, but I'm pretty sure they renewed it.
Yep,
You know?
they did. And they were asked about it. Goodell said just some bullshit.
Yeah. Well, because even if they did open it back up to other companies, that company would be so far behind, like having to build one. Like if you look at like I loved Knockout Fight Night. Love Fight Night. Love boxing.
Yeah.
That game, I mean, it still holds up, and it's been years since there was because EA gave up on boxing because UFC was trending. So now they're all about that UFC, right?
Mhm.
There's finally a new boxing game that's going to be coming out soon.
I saw
That is like legit. Like they're really trying to make it good, but it's taken them, I mean, a massive amount of years to be able to, because when you're coming in to compete with someone that's already established, right? Like what Madden is,
Mhm.
your product has to be superior in almost every way for people to even look your direction.
Mhm.
Like you
And they've
really
had-
have to stand out.
Isn't there a game that I swore they made a game that it doesn't look that good graphic wise,
Yeah.
but and it doesn't have the license, but there is a football game that
Oh,
exists that is recent, and I cannot think of the name of it. I'm sorry, but I know it's there.
I think I may know what you're talking about. But by the way, I wanted to hit on this. So what I want,
Yes.
I think they have done a new Tecmo Bowl.
There's a
right?
retro bowl that exists that's like
Yeah.
Techno Bowl style.
The only problem though, the best part of that game was being able to get Bo Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the only point. Like if you got Bo, you win, right?
Yeah.
So I would want it to where like it would be the exact same way, but I would always get mad if I don't get the team with Bo Jackson on it. So you know, like that there is
Yeah.
no fun to be to be shared. It is just one guy's gonna have a great time, the other one is not.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, that's they I mean, for this thing called competitive balance, they probably shouldn't have it that way because that makes it more competitive. If
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I'll play my game on easy. I'm not even picking up that Lord of the Rings game. I'm not gonna frustrate myself into
talking about Elden Ring,
right? It still ends
it's
the
funny.
same.
I was streaming. Actually, the most frustrating thing is getting shit to work. I had so many fucking technical issues. But I was streaming. I tried to stream Sifu, which that game is pretty hard as well. I'm thinking about getting Elden Ring though, even though I'll probably get my ass kicked.
Well, I forgot how this started. The WWE game, right?
Yep.
The new one. Yeah. So I was telling Jeff, I was like, yeah, and I really appreciate it. I was like, damn it, Jeff, I talked myself into to buying it. So I pre-ordered it. So it comes out tomorrow. And he's like, yeah. Well, so if you get the expensive versions, like the 119 or like I think the $90 one, those are the only two that come with like 3 days early or whatever. But what worries me though is the embargo hasn't been lifted.
Ooh, you should be worried,
right? That is never a
why-
good sign in this movie. But the hands-on previews that I've read though have been very positive. It's just being like having the embargo still be on here this long is not encouraging.
Who's the previews you've heard? Are they like reputable people?
Well, I mean, IGN, I think I read one of theirs, but for as far as IGN though, there are a couple people like whenever they talk about a game, they're going to talk about a game rather than like how being able to play a PlayStation 5 reminds him of how horrible Trump is.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have to be a woke idiot. They can just take a payoff.
True.
Speaking of payoffs,
absolutely,
you
I
got
think it'd be
to
as
talk
true.
about this fake sports thing.
Right.
Sports
Yes.
fake.
Yeah.
Which I got actual clips. I don't know what you guys were watching earlier. These losers with their like 9 points.
Oh, well, yeah, no, because the whole point was like the way he tries to present his essay or his points. Like we were just covering how he says like from now on we're only going to be looking at games that is verified or guaranteed that there was bounties. Now this one's a little different. Where it's accusations. Like what the fuck?
Was he talking about Bounty Gate?
Yeah, Bounty Gate. Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, because he said like
first he says too that we can't assume anything, and then he says, "But these are confirmed." But then he doesn't like bring up any confirmation, like where they were confirmed, like an article or a quote or nothing. He's just like, "Oh no, this happened."
It
But
starts
that's
with
it.
him saying like the night before this game, you hear the defensive coordinator say that that they're going to take out this player, that player, this player, that player, and they're going to get paid for it. And then when he shows the quote from that speech, it's like, we're going to play rough. We're going to hit them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like he didn't mention any money. He's not saying to injure them. None of that.
Yeah.
But sure, bro.
Like
Like
Soul Assassin said, he stopped listening to Angry Joe. I like still mess with Angry Joe. The other ones I'm with you on. Is
Angry
Machinima
Joe.
even still existing?
Machinima? No, Machinima is
No.
done. Two of the guys, man, they got real woke too. I really like them. I forgot what they're called. They would do the weekly weird news.
Mm-hmm.
Like one that was like glasses and dark hair, and the other one was tall and goofy from Florida. Anyway, I don't know if that helps. They did like
you're from
creepy
Florida.
text theater and stuff. but they have a channel that's doing pretty well. Once they left Machinima, they started that or whatever. But
Cool.
after a while, the weekly weird news was just another news story about Trump and how horrible he was. I'm like, come on, guys. So
Yeah.
I haven't been back and watched them since, but
Yeah.
that whole thing ruined a lot, man. I used to listen to the Dollop, and then they were like, all, ugh. You know what I mean?
TDS. TDS.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, all I've heard so far is that in the movie, what was it? Oh, The Last Boy Scout, it was rigged. And I still don't think it was at any level. It was just they were trying to this guy had owed money, so you better start scoring or whatever, try harder. And then the second example was The Longest Yard, because he went to prison for rigging the game. So that's all the proof I've had presented to me.
Well,
so far.
the rigging thing was that it would only take a few, like a couple refs and like a player or two to rig it. And in the longest yard, you get the refs and then the QB of the other team, and like bing bang boom,
But
he had the game wrapped up.
Again, yes, that worked because they read the script. They knew, you know what, like that doesn't tell me anything about the NFL.
Okay, I got. We'll start lightweight. Start lightweight.
Okay, all right. I love this, by the way. I'm so excited to be able to have a debate on something.
This isn't gonna win off rip.
Hi, I'm Colin Leffler with the Minnesota Vikings, and this is the ultimate reception. Now every kid can catch like a pro. Come take a look.
Ultimate Reception is the most innovative youth sports entertainment product in
And by the way, listen to what she says.
Players using an Ultimate Reception football and gloves are so effective they are not allowed in any high school or NCAA football game.
We'll just stop there. Did you notice anything mentioned from what she just said? I'll play back. Wait, just in case you didn't.
Wait, you're saying because she mentioned the NCAA or the high school level?
Yeah,
but did not mention the NFL.
Yeah, just convenient.
Well, I think it's because they're addressing the youths.
Okay.
Players using an Ultimate Reception football and gloves are so effective they are not allowed in any high school or NCAA football game. This product is strictly for youth and athletes who want to
alternate.
Oh, I was just thinking, Soul Assassin. It was Ricky and Elliot from Internet today. That's my Chatable, man. He got me.
Hell, that's Soul Assassin.
Catch like a pro every time.
You see what's happening with these gloves, man.
Yeah.
The magnetic, and this is a good catch to see because there's like movement on some of the balls.
A little loud for anybody else.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll cut it down.
I mean, I get claimed all the time. I'm not worried about getting claimed for AC/DC.
It's just annoying.
Magnetic grip system that literally makes the ball stick to your hand.
Okay.
And with the smallest, strongest magnets in the world on your side, it usually only takes one hand.
So there you see, it can still move.
Right.
With those gloves. It's not like a perfect thing. So if you're wondering, well, how come the ball might bobble a little, that's still possible with gloves like this. You see,
I get that.
So that's pretty much it. There's these magnetic gloves.
So I have a few questions, right? So that glove is made by Under Armour? In the ball?
Oh, those are Under Armour gloves, aren't they?
Okay. So I believe that the NFL has a contract with Nike.
Mm-hmm. So they couldn't. You're saying because there's a contract with Nike, they couldn't use these types.
They
of
wouldn't
gloves.
be. Anybody with that on would get fined. Like get fined if their socks are too high or too low, or they're wearing the wrong cleats.
Listen, Nike made gloves with the same technology.
Oh, I don't know if they do, but also like, if this is being used in the NFL, who gets to decide who gets to wear them and who doesn't? Because fucking Aguilar when he was with the Eagles, he dropped so many. Y'all remember that with Aguilar? He was a wide receiver.
Sure. Hey, I don't remember Aguilar. I remember fucking way back when the Lions got Azakim from St. Louis. He was the same guy. He dropped a lot of balls, but the thing is, you turn it off when you don't, because every player is not in on it. I can't imagine. There's too many fucking players. I think a lot of them are, but I think a couple of guys are. So if it's just a regular asshole, you're like, no, you didn't do what you were supposed to. I mean, I've heard stuff about the record industry. We heard about the casting couch. So maybe you need to casting couch your way to get to use magnetic gloves. I don't go to these eyes wide shut parties. I don't know how this shit works. But this,
Well,
like I said, this is go ahead.
Well, so the reason I brought up Aguilar or whatever, it was funny because like he just dropped so many balls. Like there was these guys in Philly that there was an orphanage on fire. This is a real story, and they were dropping the babies from like the second story, and he was catching them, right? And he goes, "Yeah, no, we caught all of them, unlike Aguilar." He just like called him out on the news interview. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy." But like, that's my point though. Is like. Who controls who gets to wear these and who doesn't? Do all the players know that they're out there somewhere? Would they get frustrated? Like if I'm covering a wide receiver and I'm not getting paid, I don't have magnetic gloves because I'm playing defense. Like that's bad for me. That's going to affect how much I get paid as a cornerback because this dude catches every fucking thing, no matter what I do.
Yeah. If you're not in, maybe you don't know. I that's the one thing I can't say. Well, how the fuck do they do it? I don't know, but it is interesting that technology exists. Maybe you're right about the oversight. Maybe they're just we're addressing the youth. We don't have to mention the NFL. But I just thought that was an interesting thing. It's technologically plausible for them to do something. In the NBA, is way easier to prove because of Tim Donaghy. Because of the damn. There's some magnetic rim things I've shown.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, the difference though between that and this though is that I'm hearing the claim that the NFL is rigged, not like with Donahue, whatever his name was. I forgot his name already. But the referee or whatever, he was like determining outcomes also, like, you know, for betting purposes as well. That's not that the game is rigged.
No, I let you know what. Let's play a little. I'm actually going back because I did a stream a few weeks ago, and I'm on the part in my history where I have all the videos I was playing during that stream. So I'm trying to find Tim Donaghy. He did an interview, and he basically explained the situation where the league basically told him to call more fouls for the other team that Kobe was playing.
That's different against. Then. Yeah, that's different. Oh well, I mean.
Yeah, but they didn't tell him. They don't just say call more fouls on Kobe. They say, you know what? Kobe Bryant's driving to the ball. He's not getting these foul calls, and they'll just send a message to the referees like that. And it's like, okay,
but that's different though. Like that's an oversight thing, right? Like if you're seeing someone get fouled as they're driving and no one's calling it, that is what they're supposed to do because referees are supposed to be getting graded on their performance. And if they're missing things like that, right, they're graded negatively, which affects their pay. And if they can call games in the postseason, right? So
that's the thought process. But what Tim Donaghy was alleging, granted, he's a guy who was convicted for, fixing games. So you can take it. Okay, he's just talking shit based upon sour grapes. I'm actually trying to get the video up so I can actually play. I'm trying to.
My plan is finally working. I've been using #twerkitup on all our videos, and no, I don't know why that happened. That's weird. But anyway, but glad you came though. Why were you looking at twerk videos?
Maybe you've got a keyword that's like in common with wherever the viewers are coming from.
Yeah. By the way, why were you looking up twerk videos? Anyway, so real quick about the entertainment is the entertainment company. All right. Entertainment does not always like correlate with fix or rig, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. World Wrestling Entertainment is a entertainment what do they call it?
Sports
entertainment. Yes. But I can be entertained by a lot of things that are not rigged or not fixed. Like, I don't know. I'm entertained by like old people falling. Maybe not. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a better one.
Brutal. Why didn't you go
Everything else was racist.
Something that people understood.
Everything else is just racist.
Jeez. Okay. This is an interview with Tim Donaghy. This is his testimony. He's a guy, he did go to jail. So, full disclosure, went to jail for fixing games. This could be him being sour grapes. But this isn't his interpretation with
he seems like a reliable source.
Well, I mean, who else is gonna snitch?
You wouldn't then
let me turn this up.
That you called more fouls against the team that you bet against?
No, I knew what the crew was going to go out and do that night and how a team was going to be put at an advantage. Maybe there was an emphasis that day on Kobe Bryant going to the basket, and there was a DVD sent in last week of plays that were missed by the referees. So I knew when the league came in and said, hey, listen, there's a problem here. Phil Jackson just sent in this DVD, 25 plays, Kobe getting fouled and nobody blowing the whistle. I knew that the three of us were going to go out that night, and he was going to go to the line 25 times and they were going to win by 15.
So how often would you get
But did you hear the rest of what he's saying? He's like, he's not, when he says that, he's taking it not just we're pointing out an issue, we're taking it, this is a message on what we want you to do. It's a soft implied message. That's his testimony.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that.
You know what? Let me see if he says.
Because it sounds exactly what I described earlier, was like
out there and put Shaquille O'Neal to the bench or LeBron James to the bench so that some of these bets won. That's really not what happened. I picked the games based on relationships that existed between referees and players, referees and coaches, and referees and owners, and what took place in the morning meetings with the referees and what was going to be called that night, and how a team was going to be put at an advantage or disadvantage.
So you're saying
they showed you tape.
So that sounds more like, not that they're rigging it for an outcome. They're rigging it because they have relationships with the organization or with the referees, and that would be how he would pick the games, right? Because if he knew these people were cool with each other, they know that they're going to get most of the calls.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. Just like Allen Iverson had an issue with a certain ref, so he's not going to get calls from that ref. So I know to bet against the Sixers.
Exactly, right.
Likes this ref. I know to bet on that. That's part of what he says, but I could have swore there's a part where he mentions that he takes that and the other refs take this information from the league as implied directions. And I'm trying to find that section.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
So again, like we've been trying to figure it out as well, because this always happens at this time. They don't show up all at the same time. It looks as though like they come in probably like 30, 40, and then you'll just see a 10 here, like 15 here, and then it'll hit up to almost 100. And then, there's like just immediate drop off. I have no idea if I can't explain it, man. But not complaining. But don't worry though. Look, they take those views away, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
Mama Susan, like, she finally started giving us, like, we started growing again, like, so like we're over 600 now.
Cool. Congrats.
But it's about that time that she's about to smack us down and let us remind us who's running shit.
Growth must be nice.
Right.
All right. Let's see if he says more, because
the referees got poor grades because they missed this, and it was always for the team that was down in the series, and we knew basically what they wanted, and we went out and concentrated on those things.
Okay, that's an interesting thing.
That is interesting, yes.
For the previous games, and they said this was missed. The referees got poor grades during the playoffs. Every game, during the regular season, there were points of emphasis that came out probably once or twice a week, but during the playoffs, you sat in a room and they showed you tape of the previous games, and they said this was missed. The referees got poor grades because they missed this, and it was always for the team that was down in the series, and we knew basically what they wanted, and we went out and concentrated on those things, and the bets just flowed through.
So for that example,
so that's a little bit more damning, because that implies they're trying to stretch these series out.
Well, but see that again though, like, yes, but what are they showing footage of? Plays that, like, fouls that were missed. They're not making them up. These things are happening, right?
Well, yeah, but you're emphasizing. I'm sure you can also do all the fouls that were missed for the team that won as well.
Of course,
you're talking about the NFL. NFL, we're talking about NBA, all these sports. I mean, they move pretty fast. And there's fouls happening on every play. Holding happens on every play in the NFL. You know what I mean?
You're right. You got me on that one, right?
And that's why people think of the rigging, because they feel, well, the refs have so much control. We saw the Super Bowl. There was a lot of funky pass interference and missed pass interference calls. And, I can show an article where the bookie in Vegas says this is the best thing that could have happened, this result, because of it going under and the Rams winning but not covering. That was the best result for Vegas. They made the most amount of money because of the result they got. That's what a bookie from Vegas said.
Yeah. So don't forget though, they also have a lot of people that look at like statistics and analytics to make those. Like they have resources like that we don't have access to, right?
True.
But real quick on this one, it wasn't supposed to be sports centric. I was just using that as like to show a bad essay or a bad argument, because you can see it through in any topic or subject. And I wanted to do it with this video because one, it pissed me off. and 2, because it wasn't serious and we wouldn't have to address the actual subject that was being covered. But as what always happens, we go where we're enjoying the conversation. I'm sorry if some people don't want to talk about real sports, but
and Showback, we were talking about cars earlier, and what's it called, Tomater and Lightning McQueen. We didn't
talk about any of
that subject. So
it was a bit. But one thing I want to say, like,
What?
so them,
yeah, we did.
it was a okay. All right.
Am I high?
One time that I'm sorry, one thing that stood out, right, was like they're only the plays that were being missed for the team that's down, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so them encouraging like to I don't know, give a lifting hand or like help out the other team a little bit to stretch out the series, right? Well, no, so the NBA,
it's referee socialism.
Well, the NBA definitely has a interest in the more competitive games, in games like in the series that are getting hyped because they're continuously, you know what I mean? Like the competition is strong, and I feel really bad for the Aussies because I haven't heard either one of them in a long time.
No, it's all right. You guys keep going. I'm just trying to listen and trying to absorb as much as I can.
Well, so my point though is that even if they're trying to help the other team make it a better game, normally in those situations, talent will win out. If the other team is more talented, it will even out at the end. And I think that's what they're going for, right? Yeah, we'll give the team that's struggling a little help, but talent should win out. So by the end of the series, the team that deserved to win or was going to win wins.
That's right. That's exactly what happened in The Longest Yard. So you make a good point there.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, okay, so what if that doesn't happen? You know, these are still competitive. What if the teams are close and you give one team an edge and they take that edge and that's it? They're able to win.
Well, yeah, like I said, like it's not an absolute, but like normally, like if you look at it, talent usually wins out. If someone's more talented than the other one, you can always have a flash knockout. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'm going to keep my money on who I think is, better.
All right,
but that's just me. That's just me though. Like that does definitely look like the NBA maybe trying to help not determine the outcome. Like, and again, I don't even feel like that's rigged. Like it's because they're not flat out playing players to play bad or you know what I mean? Anything like to have having a scripted outcome, I feel is different than trying to encourage better a better game to put on TV.
Well, so do you know why that the big uptake in people thinking the sports is rigged has kind of happened? Sentinel mentioned one of them: fantasy sports, gambling. Now that people are gambling on things and they keep saying like, well, wait, why do I lose all the time? I know I suck. I know I'm an idiot, but I'm losing too much money. What if the talented penalty has
statistically I should have won at least one of these, right?
So this happens all the time. Like a team that has more penalty wins. Like that's not uncommon at all. Even the whole, the team that's winning the turnover ratio, those teams still win. In fact, week 1 last year, the Cowboys had more turnovers than the Buccaneers, but they still lost at the end. Like, no, that like they got the ball. Like Buccaneers turned the ball over more than the Cowboys, and statistically, they should have won based on previous, like all the, you know what I mean? Like, you can see like
the average is you win the turnover,
right? Like, and they should have won, but they didn't.
Okay, can I just show a one-off play that just? I mean, listen, it could.
Of course, man.
People make mistakes. Well, let's just account for that. People make mistakes, so it could be just a grand mistake, but it just looks funky. And granted, it looks like it was shot with a fucking potato. So, take that with a grain of salt. But
potato gun or
a potato. Now, if I didn't, it could be the runner just got so low, and it's just a bad looking play. But if I don't even know any better,
I don't even know what the like what is this supposed to be
looks like
showing?
he's raising his arm above the tackler, and then the first tackle, it doesn't. He looks like he's just grazing him. He looks like he could have had a better angle and chose to and then really
he over pursued. Yep.
And it looks like his arm goes over. It almost looks like he intentionally does it.
Oh, he was trying to tackle him, and the guy ducked underneath his arm.
But look at the way his arm moves. Oh no!
When he gets hit by the helmet. I got hit by the helmet. That's why I flew over him.
All right, just a play, one-off plays.
Beep, bop, boop. What's happening? This might be an alien language. Yeah, I know. Hold on, this won't take long.
I'm sorry.
No, it's just it's just great that you're having fun with it.
But again, though, like I need if you're gonna make a claim that is this extensive, right? The proof of that claim or that accusation has to match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like the burden, whenever you make an accusation, the burden of proof is on you.
Right.
It's on you.
And like, if you're saying like, because again, the specific thing that I'm talking about is the claims that I've seen in the chat tonight about the NFL is rigged. The NFL that basically they're no different than WWE, right? The outcome is determined. That needs a lot of proof because you also have to remember they are paid based on their performance, right? So if you're telling them to perform less or perform bad, that is going to affect their pay, their pay.
Well, I mean, what would stop them from getting a paycheck in an NBA?
Imagine if that's like paid prostitutes based on their performance.
Well, again,
I mean, we already know for competitive purposes this happens. It came out that the Golden State Warriors, part of them having KD and everybody, they gave them stock in other companies outside of their actual salary.
Did they
so that
really?
Yeah,
that's genius. But again, though,
so that's for
like,
competitive purposes. It can happen. Why couldn't it happen for uncompetitive purposes?
Okay, so like, but how? But then you got to see like, oh, is it worth me giving them money in a different way or whatever, right? Is that but have him perform bad so I can lose the game? And what incentive does the organization have to be like, oh, you want us to lose this game? Sure, NFL will do that for you. What incentives do they have? Because if their team is losing, though, their revenue goes down because fans won't be interested to go see the game because they lose. So what incentive do they have to throw a game?
Take this year off. In a couple years, we'll have you at the playoff. What is the NFL known for? Is parity. We just had the Bengals. How were they a couple years ago? We need you to lose these games, and you get a quarterback, you go to the Super Bowl.
But that's because of the cap.
But it's not like, oh, I'm just one team rigging. It's the whole system being rigged. We're in a system where it's a rigged reality. So it's like the whole thing is like, okay, you just negotiate. You these teams, you're not going to do so well for a few years. We'll have you back. Even the Lions have made the fucking playoffs.
Again, though, like, so you're talking 33 individual organizations, right? Like the NFL doesn't own those teams.
It's an odd number, by the way, 30, because you're 32 plus the NFL self ends up 33. Whatever.
Oh shit, is it 32?
Well, it's 32, but you're kind of right.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
NFL, a separate organization from those.
Right, because it is. There's 33 different. Yeah, and that's what I meant. I didn't accidentally say 33 instead of 32. But you're talking about 33 different bodies of individuals, right? With their own their interest is self-preservation. Obviously, that's what everybody is, right? At a base core level, right? So all 33 are coming together in some monarch is like, you guys will lose this year. Like, you're going to play like shit. You're going to play like this shit. Hey, how many fucking Super Bowls have Tom Brady won? Why not one more?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, how do you feel about Thomas Edward Brady?
I like him a lot more than I used to.
No, I wasn't. I was referring to Senior, the guy worth billions of dollars.
Who?
His dad. He's a billionaire.
Never met him.
So yeah, no one ever knew that Tom Brady's dad is like this big insurance billionaire. But I, funnily enough, started off at New England Life in the '60s. It's weird that he just started off with that company, and his son just happens to play for the New England Patriots for most of his career. It just happened that way. Just a billionaire. I'm just giving up things. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. By the way, naive about what, bro? Like again, I'm just telling you what I see from. This is just like how I see it. Like.
He's calling you a knave. You're a little knave.
Knave.
Oh, I guess I auto-corrected it in my head. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Again, though, like
you read it correctly. I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, okay. Like Jerry Jones. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, right?
Yeah, he's insane.
He is a very prideful guy. He really, really wants to win, right? Like that is like really, you can see him. I've seen him in interviews like break down crying over this, right? He loves that fucking team and he wants another Super Bowl. If it's being rigged, that if all this is being is the outcome is predetermined by the NFL, why is he going along with it when it's killing him? And why would anybody be invested in this team or this organization if everything is already determined what will happen?
That's a good counter argument. I mean, I could just say, "Oh, money," but the way he
has
is,
money.
Yeah, he already has money. The way he comes across is like he's so competitive, and obviously, since the '90s, they haven't really done much. So that's a good counter argument. Why wouldn't if he found out? Let's say it wasn't rigged at one point, and at another point they said, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Why wouldn't he say, "You know what? I'm gonna just sell my share. Somebody else can handle this. I can't deal with this because." That's a good counter argument. I mean, my reason for thinking that there's something up with the NFL has a lot to do with gambling. Has a lot to do with the fact gambling has been rolled out and legalized in so many states recently.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of greedy people in this world. We just saw that absolute power is not enough for some people. And so that, and just the fact that, I mean, some of the refereeing we see, it's
of
so
course.
bad you can't help but to ask questions.
Absolutely. I have never denied it, and I will not now. Like on the individual level, yes, there are going to be players, referees, what have you, that are going to try to help fix the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
But that is on a individual level, though.
Yeah.
Not systematic, and I hate using that word because it's been co-opted by whatever. Yeah. But it's like the whole thing is rigged for the outcomes. Sentient. Anyway,
sentient dildo, buzz.
Yeah,
oppressive sentient dildo.
But that's what I mean, though. It's just like the outcome fixed the same way that the WWF and it's being controlled by the NFL itself and all that stuff.
Okay, this is going to be my last little piece of evidence because I feel bad for the Aussies and I feel bad for everyone who hates sports ball.
Yeah.
So have you heard of Dwight Smith, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer?
Say again, who?
Dwight Smith. He was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I do remember him. He was a safety, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. He was
DB. He was DB.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he was safety. Didn't he also win Super Bowl MVP in 2002 when they won?
Yep. And he thinks it's rigged. He thinks his Super Bowl that he played in was rigged. And I'm trying to find a good.
Well, yes, but again, almost at an individual level, because remember that with that one, John Gruden left Oakland Raiders, right? And coached in Tampa Bay or whatever. He left that organization that he's now playing against. And he also, if they were still running his offensive system that he had in place.
So Dwight Smith's to hell, now someone else who's not from this country doesn't understand all these games. Dwight Smith.
What did you say to me?
Nothing. No.
Dude, V-Dub, you're so wrong with this whole cabal thing that you think is going on.
I didn't mention the cabal.
No, well, essentially you did, but yeah, not putting words in your mouth.
Oh, you exactly are.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, the thing that you're missing the thing on is that there's not some big conspiracy around it. It's opportune. There's a small group of people who are being the most opportunistic that they can. They're giving teams the smallest of edge, because in the end, if you give someone a 1% chance to win, more than likely they're going to get that win in there. So there is definitely some sort of thing, but it's not the whole system that is rigged. It's a few individuals that are doing it, and they're just waiting for an opportunity. It's the same with any sports, whether the betting comes into it or not. I don't believe that it's if the NFL was in charge of this whole rigging organization. It's a bigger organization and more in depth than the NFL itself, because it's really hard to get two people to keep it secret, let alone thousands of people.
Correct. Over decades, by the way.
Over decades, yeah.
But real quick, Vita, I want to hear the Dwight Smith thing though.
Yeah, because his testimony is they hadn't ran that offense all year until the Super Bowl. That's what he said that.
Oh, I have heard that. Yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah, it was like what. I forgot the reason why though. I think it was explained that the reason why they didn't run that offense until then. And you're talking about the Raiders running their offense,
Raiders,
not
because the Raiders and the like you mentioned, John Gruden had just came from the Raiders before he went to Tampa Bay. So there should be some familiarity, but they apparently ran the exact same offense that he used to run to the wire, and we saw what happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't that a previous play from his previous club though? From my knowledge.
Yes, club, nice. So Aussie, yeah, it was. Well, so the thing was that like I don't remember if there was a player that was injured. Something happened on their roster or whatever that they thought that it would be better if they ran the old offense or whatever. For some reason, they try to justify. But yeah, it was dumb to do that, right? But even if it's the same offense, right? The other team still has to tackle. True. The other team still has to tackle. The other team still have to make the right read and not fuck up for it to turn out that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to find a section.
Mayweather confessing that boxing is fixed.
What?
Well, I don't know. No. First of all, I don't care what he has to say about baseball, football, because he is not. He's never been a player in either one of those.
Well, he's not saying that about baseball and football. Mayweather just said about boxing.
Oh, sorry, I misread it.
Is saying it's easy to extrapolate on
part
that.
of that is there's been a recent fight where it was such a bad decision. Yeah. It happened.
Well, of course, boxing. We've always known this about boxing, but listen, again, just because boxing is fixed, that does not, mean that all other sports, right? In boxing, all you need really in that one to make an outcome, you need the two promoters, the fighters. You tell a fighter, hey, you're taking a dive.
You don't even need that. You just need the judges. I've heard what they do is, and that's why they make such a big stink about the promoters. You get the judges, and if they go against your guy, if it's one guy who's a much more famous, much more known guy and a loser type guy,
right?
You just go to the judge and like, listen, you don't even say anything. If he happens to go against your guy, he just all of a sudden he can't find a job to judge. He can't find a fight to judge.
So the thing about that, but that though, again, that's still dependent upon the other dude not accidentally knocking him out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. There's still a performance element where they would have control. I get what you're saying.
I think we're conflating a few things here, Forbidden Ruin, because what it was, they had a contract, Paul and Mayweather, and it was like, hey, we can't knock each other out because that would make both of us look bad in whatever way. And I believe in the fight, you saw Mayweather holding that giant fucker up because he fucking lit him up, and the dude was out on his feet, and he held him up until he could put it back together. But even if he said the Paul fight is fixed, that does not mean the rest of his fights were fixed. You can't take one example and then apply that over all.
Yeah, especially because the Paul was not a sanctioned boxing match.
No.
So, I mean, I would get, and, listen, I like I said, I don't go to the eyes wide shut party. I can't tell you to what the announcer. I couldn't tell you to what extent that there's some funny business happening with sports. I just believe there is some funny business. Like I said, can't tell you to what extent. I can't say that it's all the Illuminati and they're just deciding this. There's some people who are up on gematria and all that. I'm like, I don't know about all that. But there's some funny business. I have the Dwight Smith clip up. I hate that, you know, I wasn't quite listening all the time because I was trying to find the right spot.
Yeah.
It's a decent sized interview. But I think I'm at the right spot where he says what he says, and you got, hey, you can take. This is a guy who, like you said, I think he was the Super Bowl MVP of that Super Bowl. And this is his thoughts on it. So
look at that. I was right about the MVP thing.
Yeah.
And take your chances that way. Is that how you would do it, Dwight?
I mean, y'all know all the X's and O's, man. I'm just sitting at home watching. I don't like to get into that because I don't believe the game is really decided on the field. So, you know, I don't get into all the X's and O's and talking, man. Like I said, I played in the game. I set a Super Bowl record, and we knew every play they was running before the game started. So, hey, who am I to say?
Well, tell us about that week leading up to the Super Bowl, because that was the big thing. Bill Callahan was the Raiders coach at the time. Obviously, John Gruden had just come over. Tell us about that week of preparation leading up to the game and how it was executed by you guys. I mean, you could know which plays are coming. And
Tim Brown and Jerry Rice come out and say that they made them run Jerry Rice. I mean, John Gruden's offense.
Yes. Yep. It was his offense, and you guys knew exactly what was coming. Did you know every single play?
They didn't run that offense all year, though. Ain't it odd that you would run it when you're playing against us?
So did you guys know every play before the ball was snapped?
I'm just saying, man, the game ain't decided on the field. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. So yeah, that's very there are some good points there. Like, I like how he's saying that it's not decided on the field, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, Vita, I've been around you enough to know, like, you have the tendency to see conspiracy, like you want to see deeper than the surface level stuff, which is not a bad thing at all.
Believe it or not, I am a skeptic. Like, absolutely. I know that may sound crazy to you guys, but I find it interesting that there does seem to be something up wherever you look. Like, it does seem to be. I mean, listen, we've learned our mainstream media isn't to be trusted.
Of course, yeah.
So do you think that you don't extend that back? You think they just decided to pass
I doubled down on my faith in Jerry Jones. But
Jerry Jones is a strong argument. That's a strong ass counter argument. I got it. And you know, there's other owners in similar thing where it's like, okay, even the guy for the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, he's paying millions and paying these luxury taxes, and you would think, like, why would you be putting this much effort if it was rigged? You know what I mean?
Well, but also look at teams that are like the Rams, right? Like, look at them just going all in this year, right?
Yes,
getting spending as much possible money as they can. Why would they need to do? Well, why would anybody need to go out and try to get the best talent if the game is? Why would an organization, right, that again is separate from the NFL, right? Why would they spend more money on to get these better players than just keep the mediocre players and still have the same outcome? Why would they voluntarily spend more money for better players to lose?
Because it's the storyline that they spend more money to win, and then there's some teams that spend money and lose. It does happen when teams spend money.
Of course, right? But again, there's a difference. Yeah, exactly. But there's a difference between earning that loss, because Snyder and his team, they always earn that loss, than voluntarily putting on a show when it's going to hurt your organization in the long run, because you're going to lose that. Look, speaking of the Washington, what are they? Fuck it, Redskins, Commanders or some shit. Look at them, right? Their turnout, their attendance for the games have been horrible. Their stadium is garbage too, by the way. But like, so wouldn't they be better? Like, wouldn't Dan Snyder himself make more money if the team was more successful? And if that's just determined by some overseer, how do they determine it? Is there a rotation? Because goddamn, it's been long enough for the Cowboys. Well, I think we're up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where I guess this is what the flaw is for any conspiracy argument. You only are going to have so much evidence, and so then there's that gap of, okay, I can show some gloves, I can show some interviews, but I'm not going to be able to show you a smoking gun of somebody giving you a whole diagram of how they work. Like, you can find that for a wrestling match because it's out there. Well, we do this and we do that. We call spots and we have, But
yeah, but that's important. But that's important because of the size of the accusation or whatever, right? And that's not the only one. I guess off the top of the head, like there's too many people that are involved in everyone keeping their mouth shut. Even with that interview though, like I could easily be like, well, what he means though is like decisions that are made by the coaches and the organization leading up to that game have a far more impactful, like are far more impactful on the actual outcome than it is on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, when he's saying it, he's not. That's
exactly. Yeah,
He's
I know. I know
theorist,
that's
it's
what
just much.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But I said I could twist it to make it
Yeah,
sound
you're
like
right.
that, right? Like
You're
that's
right.
pretty.
But I mean, do you find it at least? I know it's one guy. There's been thousands upon thousands of people to play in the league. Do you find it interesting that there's somebody that played in a Super Bowl and thinks it's rigged?
That is actually the most credible and most like thing I've heard of in defense of the NFL being rigged. That one did because he was the MVP that game.
Yeah,
and for him to be like, man, you know what I mean? Like that actually does speak volume.
I mean,
but I would need more from him.
Yeah.
I would need more from him though.
I wish I could do an interview with him and just like, listen, I really want if it is rigged, I want people to know. If it's not, and I'm just cool,
Right.
I'm happy to present information. I'm happy to, talk my stuff. I can find a couple other plays, but you can also explain them away. There was one play with Patrick Mahomes, looks like he's staring down two receivers and then waits until the rush gets to him and then does a bunch of crazy shit and does a strip sack. But you can say, oh, he just got, caught up in the moment, whatever. There's an explanation for anything, even if it looks terrible, because these are still human beings.
And
They are
it's also a one-off.
Yeah, a one-off play. So it's like it could just, people make mistakes all the time. Everyone makes mistakes at work. He just made his mistake in front of millions of people. That could be an explanation for any one-off play that you see. So to some extent, can I definitively prove to you all sports are rigged? No. I can just show. I mean, there's another thing about even though gambling, I think, is the biggest reason to, when you talk about the gambling numbers they're doing, like I said, incredible amounts of money. And so that's really another thing, greed. It's like, how could you leave that money on the table?
Real quick, do you remember when the Giants lost to the 49ers in a playoff game? Like they were up, Giants were up huge, right? And the 49ers and T.O. was still there and they came back and they won. Jeff Garcia was the fucking quarterback and shit, right? So
I do remember that.
All right. After the game, they were doing an interview with the long snapper because they missed that field goal.
Yeah, I remember
and he was
that.
devastated. He was like,
he was
if I would have known that I was going to be the cause of this, if I was going to be the reason why we lost, I would have never came out of retirement. Devastated.
I do remember that. Yep, you're right. But then explain that Bartman play in baseball, the switch sport.
Switch. Oh, that's a good point.
Switch.
Well, explain this play in an entirely
No, I'm
different
not trying to say it, but
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm saying because I'm not just trying to dismiss that argument. I think
I
that's
got
a
you.
fair argument that the passion is. But there's these weird plays that just happen. There's these weird moments in sports in general that just happen. You say, wait, was that legit?
I mean, but that can be applied to anything. Like look at car wrecks, right? Like, man, you should have been killed. But sometimes those things it turns out that way for whatever reason, right? Like for like you could have been hit here, but you weren't, and it like you should have died, but you survived somehow. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. Like with the Bartman.
Hey,
with
I believe I genuinely believe that God has a plan, and so if that's not a part of the plan, it's not going to happen. So in a way, I guess life is sort of.
We're about to switch heavy because I do not believe that God has a plan. Because what are you doing? Where are you at?
I just finished work. Walking home.
Okay. Well, real quick, I got to finish this before people start jumping all over me because I say God doesn't have a plan. Let me explain that.
Yeah.
Right. So
there is no plan. He just planned.
Kai,
to put
give me a
people
chance.
here.
I know we've been talking the whole time, but let me just finish this because people are going to jump on me in the chat if I don't. What I mean to say is, right?
I was just trying to stall so you could. Have more time.
To not say it.
What do you mean, Mads? Tell us what you mean.
So yeah, the entire concept of free will is that you have to have the ability to choose what you want. If it's all predetermined, that does away with free will. Like it can't be both. You can't even praying to God. Like, by the way, I forgot who it was, man. Maybe not Descartes. But oh no. Anyways, was like the most arrogant thing like is to pray to God and think that he's only listening to like he's listening to you, like you of all people, right? But, like,
that's Descartes.
was it Descartes? I felt like it was Renee. But the point being though that even if you pray and like you he answered my prayers, he gave me what I needed or whatever, right? That again would dismiss free will because you know what I mean is it's predetermined like the NFL.
Well, I would say that we don't understand because there's a way that free will can exist. If let's say you are still making decisions, but God already knows what decisions you're going to make. So from his perspective, it's as if you don't have free will because he knows everything that's going to happen.
Right.
But from your perspective, you still accomplish free will. And not to be a preacher, because I'm sure not. And I had to Google this to know that I don't know the scripture offhand, but I knew it existed. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declared the Lord. Verse 9. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Meaning, we really can't understand God.
Of course, and you're absolutely right. In fact, anytime that we speak of God, we cease to speak of God, right? Because anytime we try to put descriptors on God, we're already done because it's so far beyond anything that we can actually comprehend.
Yeah.
Like it's if you think of like a ship that's sunk to the bottom of the sea, right? Where now the ship contains some of the water, but the boat is entirely submerged. That's what it's like, right? Our knowledge of God, like just a tiny, tiny bit, right? And it's all based on faith anyways. But God is the ocean, submerged, like with everything, right?
It's interesting. I've never heard it described that way. Like
so yeah, but I like what you said though about him knowing all the outcomes anyways, like, but you have free will. Even if that's true though, like to say that you didn't die here because you didn't die here, I think there's a separation that well, God knew that was going to happen anyways, and then saying God determined it. Like you can know the outcome of something, but not determine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I can't read that the scripture and say no, I think this because I don't know what God thinks. So I couldn't tell you if you're correct or not. I can, that'd be two-faced. So that's a
if conversations about like free will and the nature of existence is something of interest, to anyone, I wrote this book where we talked to this being called Space Tram Domino. Talk to a being from beyond the universe. It's good times, lots of fun.
Smooth as sandpaper. Well done.
By the way, we were the ship in that analogy, not God. So
God's
no,
the ocean itself.
Yeah. Well, so this is interesting as well. So Poe, by the way,
as well.
traded us.
Why is this working?
Right.
Damn it.
Poe, were you here during when I was talking about the sports? Because I think Poe would understand me.
What about what?
About the sports being.
I think we've 2 hours in now. I think.
I know. But I mean, I just want to see if Poe saw that, and I would love to know Poe's take.
Oh, okay.
I like Poe's phrasing of that.
Well, so I forgot who said this one too, man.
Does Poe think that the ball's flat as well, or in the Earth?
Does he think the what is flat?
But there's two things that I with flat earth. He doesn't do sports. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we just talked about our sports rigged. Matt doesn't believe me. I thought, okay, maybe you do, but if you don't even do it, there's no point. Oh man, Australia. No, I'm not a flat earther, but there's two things about the quote unquote flat earth. I don't believe. Okay, I couldn't tell you if we went to the moon, but what we see as the footage of the moon cannot have happened because of the Van Buren belt and just the radiation. I just can't imagine that unless they lied about the tech that they had available, that they could use tech that was worse than our cell phones and get to the moon. And the second thing is, and I can't find it. Apparently, there are no pictures of Earth, no real like if you look.
Correct.
And so that's like, what? When did that happen?
Well, that's a size thing, bro. You may not have this problem. I mean, neither do I. But
it's camera exposure.
It's because it's so big. They have to take like like sections of it and then digitally put it back together. Does that make sense? Because they can't get it in one shot.
Well, even if they, there should still be shot. Okay. Are there shots of like just plain, okay, we don't have the whole section, but just what we have? Do those shots exist that are easily findable of the Earth? I'm not asking from a skeptic standpoint, because when I found this out, I'm like, what the fuck? Because again, I'm not a flat earther. And I saw this, I'm like, that seems pretty strange. And I can understand it being too big to actually be able to get a shot, but you should still have the parts of those composite shots. And you know what I mean? You should be able to get launched. And so, okay, we launched this thing, this either a satellite or from the space station, and we're just taking a picture. We don't have the whole picture, but what we have. And no, I'm not debating flat Earth. I'm just trying to. Okay, so the partial shots exist. Maybe I should look for those partial shots, because I would need to look for those. Just when I found that out, I was like, what? Because like I said, I don't believe in a flat Earth, but when you hear stuff like that, there is that like WTF. And I mean, listen, all of this stuff doesn't just come from someone who's trying to be edgy, trying to be an edgelord, trying to be insane. It's more of, man, and this is really before 2020. I've been, we've been lied to by our government, by our media, by the corporations on so many things for such a long time. Why can't these other things be a part of it? So, and the moon landing and Kubrick, all that stuff is really freaky. Really freaky.
No, so even started to pull off on the water always finds level argument.
Well, real quick, because even though I'm not even sure that Australia exists, Nick, Sam, y'all been sitting there patiently waiting on an opportunity to say something other than sports. Stop. Yeah.
Well, we're not paid actors, if that's what you mean.
I mean, I don't know. Well, why else would you be here in silence? Obviously, they're paid.
That's exactly something a paid actor would say, though.
Right? Just like all the viewers, I can only afford an hour for.
But we're trying to sort out, the Australian paid actor pay gap at the moment. It's pretty bad.
It's a state to state problem as well, because people in Tasmania seem to get a higher rate.
Here we go with the pay gap. Hey, why don't you look at it for being when it's adjusted? Okay, it all evens out. Kai, anybody can jump in.
Yeah, I see. It's funny. I felt like I've been talking so much. So
Me too.
I'm going to shut the fuck up. I totally left my stream, hijacked somebody else's stream. We've been talking about all these conspiracy theories. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Well, you didn't hijack it because I was just as bad as you were during that whole thing. But
that was a hijack.
Well, it's your stream, Mad. You make the rules. I mean, come on, man.
No, I really want to hear your guys' opinions, like as far as like not the sports stuff, but like the free will. What about free will versus determinism? If you want to take religion out of it.
Your point, without getting into the details about Pelagian heresies and so on, I think that interesting distinction to be made between God as determiner, or rather not as a determiner, but someone who just knows the outcome.
Right,
so
exactly.
God doesn't determine things. He simply looks at you and knows which way you're going, or how things are going to work out for you. That being said, if he does know the outcomes of things, it does rather make one wonder, well, what's the point of praying? If he already knows exactly where I'm heading, what's the point?
Right.
Well, then again,
even then, God predicts that you would have that view.
Then again,
it's still real time to you. It's still real.
The idea is that another one is that I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not particularly religious and I haven't
of course
done any study of that sort of stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, he gives God, that is, he gives us a good way to live. Do this and you'll end up all right, and then gives us the choice whether or not to follow that. So, and that's it. And if you don't, well, you're screwed, at least in some schools of thought. But it depends really what your school of thought
Not all
is.
religions, but some of them.
Not every religion, of course not. But But yeah, it just depends on what your school of thought is, because it really depends on who you ask.
Well, so as for like as the praying part though, like praying is not an attempt to influence what God is doing. It's influence what it should be about influencing your behavior. It's almost like a reflection, like right? Like it's like it's speaking either your desires or your needs or your worries out loud.
Yeah, and also it's also think of it like a phone call to a loved one. It's another way of strengthening your connection.
Right.
It might to some people's eyes feel like it's a one way street, but it's something it's the whole point is that you're taking whatever time it is during your day to solely focus on that one.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't believe the universe or God is some great big cosmic cash machine. I do believe that there is a rather more, shall we say, elegant spiritual purpose to it. You know, it's about connecting, I suppose, in some way.
Yeah, and honestly, like when a prayer feels answered, it isn't always like, "Oh Lord, since you think I'm with conspiracy theories, that Anunnaki, that's a wild one." That's not one I believe. Well, so okay, my argument against this is the free will argument. This is why I have
exactly.
To so to take that away would mean there's no consequences for free will ever. At some point, human beings did the things to, especially when we talk about AIDS, did the things to where that is a thing.
I blame it all on the monkey. Like, did you hear what it was wearing?
I would think it was created in a lab somewhere.
No, it was a.
I'm not a doctor.
It was a slutty looking monkey that was just asking for it.
No, I've heard it was actually they put monkey cells in the polio vaccine. That's what I heard.
Hey, Po. Sorry, real quick. Hey, Po. Thanks for dropping by, bro. Like I said in the DM, man, I'm definitely gonna have you on soon.
Yeah, enjoy Call of Duty.
My man.
Yeah, but so that's my thought. Is like, okay, you gotta. There's free will and there's consequence, and unfortunately, somebody else has put the consequence on this child to be born that way. But there were other adults and grown-ups who caused that situation. You know what I mean?
Well, but
And
like,
also,
what if when before we go into our lives, we have like a character select screen where we're like, all right, so let's see what I'm gonna do with this life, you know?
Ooh, cancer?
So what if
That
it's our
sounds
choice
fun.
to be born the way we're born.
Well, I tend to.
Yeah, I don't think
myself.
I don't think anyone likes
myself,
that.
I tend to have a bit more of a. I mean, look, in terms of all of this stuff, shall we say, I'm an optimistic don't know. I would never be so arrogant as to claim there was or wasn't a God, because I think that's a contradiction in terms. But if, in the more optimistic sense, I tend to believe in a bit of more of a karmic kind of view of the world. The idea that I like to think that I'm here to do something. I'm here to learn something, something that I didn't learn last time, something that I didn't experience last time. I'm here to do something that I didn't do last time. And once I've learned that, then I can move on.
Oh, Kai, here we go again.
I like that. Sam,
We've had
I'm
this
in the
before.
same boat.
My problem with that, and I've brought this up to Kai before as well, right? Like, I understand what you mean, like in a sense, because like returning to the collective or whatever eventually, once you're doesn't matter. My point, my problem with reincarnation, and if you've never heard the story of the reincarnation of Anne Frank, that one I went whoa. But
I have heard some crazy reincarnation stories.
But my problem with that though is once you cease to be, if you become someone else or something else, whoever you were before is gone. You know what I mean? It's gone. Like, what makes you is your memories. It's your experiences, what you have in your head. Your spirit.
That really depends on whether you believe anything as mortal as flesh could contain something so infinite as the human soul.
Frank is AOC system. I don't know how to respond to that. Well, I mean, what is the soul? What is the spirit? Like, how come there's no?
Well, that's it. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you really think mortal flesh, so to speak, could contain something?
Well, that's not what I mean
huge?
either, though. Well, I mean, it has to.
Yeah.
Like it. I believe
That's
it's.
how I'm talking.
And the idea that that we've only got one shot at things, at least to my mind, the idea that we've only got one shot, I think, is quite frankly despicable, because there are some people who are born into this life in suffering and in such horrible circumstances, and the idea that they've only got one shot at it and they can't better themselves, or that they don't have a chance to experience better because they've got such a raw deal, I think is pretty horrible.
And agree,
reincarnation used to be
100%.
part of Catholic doctrine in the beginning.
I would have to see some receipts for that one. But as far as like the one shot thing, I agree 100%. But that's because I am not a traditionalist and or the conditionalism. I lean towards universalism when it comes to the eschatological idea of what happens after you die. Right? Like I look at everyone like it's like kind of like the whole like you return to the collective, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
as I said, really, I'm at the very basis of it, I'm an optimistic don't know. I really don't know, but I like to think that I would like to think that there is something more, that there is more to life than what we have, or that what we can see, what we can hear, that there is more to it, that it is a lot bigger than anything that we could perceive.
yeah, I think most people like somewhere inside, like they all, like everyone, I think feels the same way. Like they want something to be there, or you know what I mean? Like there's something
Yeah.
more.
So the one thing that trips me out is that there's really been no organized culture that didn't have a higher belief in a higher power.
Right.
And that's kind of like how could that be? And then there's the thing, is like, well, as humans, who said we ever, a dog doesn't know what the fuck is going on with the world, and that's just a mammal, right? So who the fuck ever said that we would ever know all there is to know? You know what I mean? We would ever know how the universe works, how the system works. No matter what we say, no matter what you believe in, no matter how strongly you believe in it, from the perspective of everyone else, until we're not here, it's all just a theory. We don't know.
Of course.
we all have our
Mankind in general has a restless urge to understand.
Yeah,
They
we do.
have to understand. It's just something that's born into us. We see something that we don't know, we try our best to understand it. People have been trying to, seeking the truth with a capital T for centuries. I mean, it's just a restless urge. We've just got to understand. We find something confusing, we try and work it out. It's like a puzzle. That's what we do as humans. Even this whole thing about all this stuff about rigging in sport, all it is, it's an extension of our restless urge to understand the bullshit that's going on, basically to try and explain stuff that we can't explain.
You're not wrong. It's a good catch.
By the way, and I don't even think, like, honestly, like we would. I don't think we would actually enjoy what we learn in the end. Like, I don't think we should know everything, and I think it would be very damaging if we ever did.
It's also a good point, man.
Look, I think
how the hot dog is made.
I think by the time we do get around to that stage, petty things like good and evil and all of that stuff aren't going to matter. They will be insignificant. Anything in this life that we experience right now is or would be insignificant and unimportant. It's so material and superficial in the end.
Well,
I just don't think it would matter.
But also, though, sorry, V Dubs. This is going to be quick. Along the lines of what you're saying about karmic lives and reincarnation and stuff, like everything that we experience in this life does matter because they're lessons for us to learn and build on and stuff. So even though they are essentially cosmically insignificant, they are at the same time the most significant things that, it's why we're here, is to experience all those things and learn from
At
it.
least from a karmic point of view, the point is to improve oneself to the point of, I suppose, I want to say like that phrase, like cleanliness is next to godliness. It's all about getting in touch with the divine. and everything we learn and we continue to experience is getting us closer and closer every time.
Well, real quick, so I think that even the
just a thought, obviously.
So Jean-Paul Sartre nailed it. He said, he said that God does not exist. I cannot deny that my whole being cries out for God. I cannot forget. So that's what I mean. Like, as far as like we humans are like civilized, like we're always looking for this being or something more. I even in the Sartre, I mean, he wasn't the best dude. You know what I mean? Like, and he stunk too. By the way, he didn't wear deodorant.
Oh, that's nasty.
Is he not French?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he is French. Yeah, well, I guess that's.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really have to say it. You know,
that's true.
But I mean, well, it's good to show that you're also bigoted towards white people.
Oh yeah. Well, the French, I don't even count them as white.
There you go.
But I did want to ask about getting away from a theological view, but as far as free will versus determinism, right? There's no evidence of having free will, but there's a shit ton for determinism.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it basically, anybody that's wondering, like, determinism would be like everything that happens in your life is predetermined by what has happened to you in the past, right? Like the reason why you decide to do this
for a reason,
right?
I disagree with that though, because a lot of it is how the same thing could happen to different people and they react to it differently and get different results.
But they didn't have identical lives though.
Yeah, you got to remember that people do not have identical attitudes, values, beliefs, and experiences. Everyone's an individual, right? And they will indeed have their own individual outcomes.
And if there is a disparity in the number of minorities that are in that position, well, that's racism.
Oh, geez.
No,
I was not expecting that. I should have expected it. I should be prepped for it, but it caught me off guard.
Well, for like determinism, like even saying like, no, that's bullshit. From now on, I will choose what I was going to choose, but I'm not going to choose. I'm going to choose the other thing. Well, that also is determined. You're even saying that is determined by this thing, right? There's also the thing about like, I forgot where I read it. It was this scientific thing or whatever, this paper, and it was talking about how everything that you do with your body or whatever, you're not doing it. It is being caused by the outside. Like everything around you is influencing what you do rather than the reverse. Right. Like meaning like, you know what I mean? Like if you reach for something or whatever else, all that's being caused by things outside of your control. You get something to drink because you're thirsty. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Then that takes in like a different account of determinism. That would imply like even, that would almost take away the idea of whether or not there's a determinism from a higher power, a higher thing determining the steps of your life. It would just say, well, regardless of that, you can be influenced so much. And there's an argument that this is this is kind of why I'm such a conspiracy theorist, because of how influenceable we are by all these properties, all the stuff that we see on the news, all the media. We've changed. We don't still wear short sleeve shirts on top of long sleeve shirts because that's not cool unless, some people probably do.
I mean, I literally did that like last week.
Well, I mean, because it's not, well, I don't know, maybe it's coming back. But you get what I'm saying. There used to be a time where everybody, they even sold them like that and shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Cargo pants. I remember the early aughts.
Exactly. The cargo pants, the super, black guy used to wear the super long white tees. I used to have those fucking skirts.
Oh man. Yeah, Tommy Hilfiger everywhere, man. And you had to have the tag. Early. Okay, yeah.
Late 90s.
Right at the edge.
That part blends together anyway.
But Doc Martens, this is what you need, right? You need Doc Martens, you need Tommy Hilfiger, and you better have like one that you can visibly see the label, or what was the point of buying it, right? What helped with that is the Carpenter jeans, because you had that little loop down by your on your thigh, and that's where the Tommy Hilfiger thing would be. Right? You're gonna want a polo shirt, just one. This is in the 80s. You're not gonna wear 17 because they have like 18 different color collars. No, you're gonna have one polo, maybe a Hawaiian shirt, right? And then if you're, if that's not your thing, FUBU and Dadas.
I remember Fubu and Dada. I'm surprised
I have
JNCO jeans, Junko jeans, whatever they were called.
Jinkos.
Jenkos, yeah. I'm surprised they haven't got
Yeah.
brought up. That's another thing.
Oh.
But that's almost a semi-determinism just by the whatever you want to call the megalith that is modern pop culture. It determines.
Well,
even though you do have
does
some
anyone
amount of-
remember? Does anyone remember that scene in Inception
Oh God.
where they are
That scene in Inception was-
they are discussing how a dream works,
Mhm.
how you create and observe in exactly the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And Leo DiCaprio is sitting there with a picture of a circle that basically goes round and round and round. That's kind of how I see the nature versus nurture argument. One influences the other, influences the other, influences the other. Nature versus nurture versus nature influences nurture, influences nature, influences nurture, and so on. It just keeps going around and around and around. It's an interplay between the two. I don't think it's all nature's work. I think nurture does indeed play a part, but I think one feeds into the other and vice versa at such a rate that it's almost indistinguishable.
I like where you're going with that, but I got distracted by some nonsense happening here. Hey, bro, I'm talking about Tommy Hilfiger, man. Those things are like $75-$80. I ain't gonna work in them. I'm not gonna do carpentry work.
In reference to Wookie's previous comment, did I ever tell you guys about
the one about a
twins I
clone?
knew in high school and how I tell them they were worth half a person each?
No, but before you do, I have so many questions. Why pants should not have pockets? Oh wait, pants should have pockets? No, pants
cargo
should have
pants.
pockets.
Showback got
Yeah, they
defensive
have to
about
have
cargo
pockets.
pants.
Yeah.
Pants have pockets, dude. You don't have to have giant ones that are on the side of your thighs and you leave them open and they kind of poof out.
I
Man,
mean,
you
look,
remember those
the
side
worst
pockets?
the worst thing you want to look like is a tea strainer in a windstorm. I mean, honestly,
And we all know what that is. That's not just
What,
an
you've
Australian thing.
what you've never heard of a tea
strainer.
strainer?
We
No.
don't drink tea. We're dumb Americans.
Yeah, right?
Tea
not
comes in a
drink tea,
bag.
though.
You dip the bag in the water becomes tea.
Yeah.
You have to
How does
remember,
that
Sam, Americans dumped all their tea in the river.
Damn right. They
Exactly.
raised the taxes by
Fucking
3
shit.
cents.
What's the matter with
Jesus.
you people? Anyway,
Well, that shit adds up, bro.
It does.
oh dear. Anyway,
Are we not going to get an answer to what the fuck a tea strainer is? I'm not Googling it.
Google's free. That Google is your friend. Google is free.
Google lied to you.
By the way,
Facebook lied to you.
hey, Kip, I know you're probably busy because I know it's early there, man. Or is it late there? I don't know. Feel free to come on whenever. You got access. I give way too many people access to this, by the way. Man, having to sit here and people are muting each other and we don't know who it is. A lot of shady shit happening.
See, only a couple people have access to my channel. It's just Matt and Cosmic Fusion because he was my editor for a little bit.
So there's
My
6
dick
of
right
us.
Ooh.
There's 6 of us in the Mad Barber Boys, right? And
Yeah.
everyone has access to the StreamYard. Yeah, I upgraded to have it. Everybody have access, right?
Mhm.
Except for Casino, except for Culture.
Awesome.
We mess with him all the time too about it, bro.
Awesome. That's so great.
He's the only one. It's great. But oh man, there was something I wanted to ask the twins because it's awesome. You see how, by the way, you see how Aussie how they do it? They try to hide information.
Oh yeah, the half person each. We started on that.
All right, brother. Oh yeah, the half person each. Go, guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was these twins, and the first, let's start with the abstract stuff. It's like what the little things that you tell people to make them feel better, like, oh, you're totally unique. There's no one like you in the whole world, except there is someone just like you in the whole world, and they're standing right next to you. So right there, you're already in fear. People can't even say that to make you feel better. Second is the way that twins, identical twins, are formed, as opposed to like just regular twins that don't look the same. You come from a single sperm and egg that splits in half, and then each half creates a person that is half of what they would have been if they had stayed as one complete, sperm and egg.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, they're less
had,
than. I've
you
always
know,
said that.
yeah. So you're each mathematically worth half a person.
Yeah.
Well, you
I'm not
shouldn't
sure
actually.
I'm not sure how that that's how it works. But
It sounded
go
like
ahead.
science to me, bro.
Yeah, that was math. That was you can't argue with math.
Sounds like Kai science.
Kai
Sounds
science?
like
No, but I think that
it's like
there
if you have
is
cake
a,
batter and then you make 2 smaller cakes, they're called cupcakes. You know,
There you go.
they're not full cakes anymore.
I thought we were going to get information on twins.
Like you've never heard of cell division before?
Yeah, you do realize this.
You guys are like the little cupcake humans.
The cell doesn't literally halve itself. It actually divides into 2. Like
That's
it grows.
mitosis. We're not
it gro-
cells.
it-
We're humans.
Well, what he's saying is because identical twins use, or no, we shouldn't use identical. What is it? Is it paternal and fraternal? I forgot. Because like you said, yeah.
Well,
because
look, there's identical twins and then there's fraternal twins. Fraternal twins are the non-identical ones.
Oh wait, what is it called? Because I was trying to think of it. And I just came up with was nocturnal. I'm like, that's not it.
Fraternal.
My point is, fraternal twins can also be like like you can look at them and think they're identical twins because they look so much alike.
Yeah,
but they're not.
Well, they are. The
biologically
thing is,
identical.
even though they're fraternal, even though they're non-identical, they still are siblings. They look like siblings.
Yeah, but no, they can look. I don't know that this is true. I didn't research it because who gives a fuck what they think? Especially because one of them killed the fucking Joker. But
No
apparently,
need for
Mary
research
Kate-
here, bro.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's true. Mary Kate and
Olsen
Ashley
twins are
Olsen,
not-
they are actually
yeah.
fraternal twins.
Exactly,
They're
that's my
non-identical, but they look very similar.
They look so much you can't really determine it to the human
No,
eye.
exactly. I mean, look, if you look at all of the Olsens, including Elizabeth, they
Yes.
all have a very shared look.
They've
Well, by
got
the-
strong genes.
What was,
By the way,
so Wookiees.
are we
So about
safe
the twin thing one more. The what was great about those guys is that they had bad eyesight, so I blamed that on them being twins. I was like, it's because you're
Oh,
twins.
wow, that's-
Like,
that
your
actually-
eyesight is half
that
as good as
worked
what it
out.
would have been.
I mean, I mean, Nick and I did used to wear glasses, but not anymore.
Real quick before we get too far away from the Olsen twins and then Elizabeth, whatever her name is it safe to say that Elizabeth has won at this point? Like, I know the twins got a head start at the beginning, but you know what I mean?
should say so. Yeah.
Like, they got a head start.
Don't they both have? Don't Mary Kate and Ashley have like this? I mean, it's not active, but they made so much money in the 90s and 2000s off those stupid ass movies they did every few weeks that they had like a
Right.
trust or something.
Well, it's
Yeah, of
not.
course.
It's not so.
Like, I
It's
think
not so much
financially
their
they're still
career
up.
is. It's not so much their acting career that's a big thing now. It's more to do with other business pursuits.
Yeah.
Well, but how about this part? This is the first time, and this is verifiable. You can check this, that anyone has brought up the Olsen twins since like 2007.
That's true. I mean, it's been a while. But like I said, one of them. I don't know if they killed Heath Ledger, but
I mean,
just know
there
that-
are a few. There are a
Did you hear
few
about
twins
that?
in.
Wait.
There are a few twins in Hollywood. I mean, there's Scarlett Johansson. She's a
Yeah.
twin.
This is verifiable.
Sam, something just got dropped. Like, Mama Susan, let him finish before you come after us. Let him finish his.
Oh
what
yeah.
he was saying.
I am not saying whichever Olsen twin that was there and had her bodyguard go to the scene the next day and called the police and saying that she wouldn't talk to them unless she had immunity. I am not saying that she did anything to Heath
Wait,
Ledger.
sorry.
I'm just
say
saying
that-
that those things happen.
Can you repeat it for me? Sorry, I missed it.
So I'm trying to look it up because I don't want to. When I can actually verify a fucking story, I want to be able to do it.
Well, that's
But-
not necessary on here, but Mama Susan,
Yeah,
she
'cause,
loves her some Four Feathers. She was a big fan of Heath. Man, that's a deep cut. Anybody ever even seen Four Feathers? Hey, Jack. Yeah, man, we do these here and there throughout the week sometimes. I definitely will have you on, but you missed it. Like, so V-Dub and we dominated this stream for an hour and a half, and I felt bad because the twins and Kaigas had to sit here. So I'm gonna cap it at this for now.
Yeah, because we're pretty much sports plebs.
Yeah, it was a lot of sport talk.
Okay,
But,
I'm trying to find the right article. But yeah, so it was Mary Kate Olsen. What happened is Heath Ledger had the massage scheduled. His masseuse came in, thought he was asleep, tried to wake him up, and realized that he was dead. And so she called Mary Kate Olsen before calling 911. And I'm trying to find the thing about where basically see, I wish there's something more verifiable than some of these sources because I hate sports god fashion and BS the speakeasy is lit. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh, people.
Oh, yeah,
by the way,
just so everyone's know, this is all alleged.
Absolutely. Well, parts of the certain parts are not alleged. I mean, I can't. I don't know that she had anything to do with it, but the fact that the masseuse called her.
That's why I say alleged.
Right.
You know, she allegedly had something to do with it.
Well, again, all of this, like, we're not saying anything that's happened. You know, not at all. Now, hold on. What's her name? She killed Kurt Cobain. You can't tell me anything different.
Oh man, I absolutely.
What's her name?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love. Yeah,
Courtney Love,
she did that. And R. Kelly ain't never peed on anybody.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far.
Yellow, I'm back. What did I miss?
We were talking about R. Kelly.
We were just discussing how allegedly R. Kelly never peed on anybody, but yeah.
This man literally said in a song, "My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes." This motherfucker then wrote a song for a 15-year-old girl talking about age ain't nothing but a number. I have 0% chance, 0% that R. Kelly ain't pissing on women and doing crazy shit. I know good goddamn well,
bro. I Believe I Can Fly, Gotham City, like Ignition, remix to Ignition.
Listen,
it was hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Babe Ruth was one of the greatest baseball players, but all those old writers found him with young girls all the time and didn't say shit. He was a great baseball player. He won like 96 games, hit 700. No one will ever do that. But he was
okay. Things were a little different back then. The age of consent was a little lower, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we should just avoid this altogether. Hey, Selbach, man, dude, again,
you never invite me.
I'm sorry. Like, I wish that I could, but like, we're kind of doing it now as well. But like, I'm trying to give these other guys an opportunity to speak, but I'm still doing it. Sorry, guys.
All right. Honestly, I probably should sleep. So after this Heath Ledger thing, I'll just leave. And then
okay, yeah. Let's get back to the Heath Ledger thing.
Wait, is it that the Olsen twins killed Heath Ledger?
That's not what I said. I said that the masseuse called the Olsen twin before they called the police. That's what I don't think I think I can actually confirm at this Daily Mail. I don't have a ad blocker.
Sorry,
so enjoy the ads up. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, all right, Poe. That's a very interesting story. We may come back to that.
I could have. Whoa.
Yeah. Poe's by.
Well, enjoy, Poe. Well, it's just the buy. The pissing on people is a little bit more like, whoa.
I find it very hard to pee if you have an erection.
I was gonna say that. Like once it usually there's like a little valve that like says no, only one thing flows this way.
But
maybe he wasn't into that guy enough.
Oh yeah, he was still kind of flaccid.
Or maybe it was the start of it. Maybe that was the thing that helped.
I mean, I peed on a chick accidentally the first time I was getting a hand job. Maybe I overshare sometimes.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about you and your cousin again.
Masseuse who found Heath Ledger's body made 2 calls to actress before calling the emergency services. That's what we can confirm on record from the Daily Mail. So this is accurate. This report is only as accurate as the Daily Mail. You take them with a grain of salt. A masseuse who found a Hollywood actor Heath Ledger dead in his apartment, not this Tuesday, it's obviously years ago, has revealed she made 2 calls to Mary Kay Olsen before calling the emergency services. Diana Wolazin, maybe, told police she first called Olsen, a friend of Ledger's, whose number was in his mobile phone, for advice when she thought, this is just who she called, said Heath is unconscious, I don't know what to do. She didn't call the actress back and scream, I think he may be dead, I'm calling 911. She was then 21-year-old actress. She sent over her security team who arrived at the flat at the same time as the ambulance. An accidental overdose of sleeping pills has emerged as the most likely explanation for his death. And then it just talks about the different pills.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think, and then it just goes on about other stuff. I don't think it says anything.
Yeah, what it didn't say was that phone conversation that they had was 37 minutes.
What? That's a big fucking kiss. I was like, yeah, okay. Like she knew they were closed and she's freaking out. So he called her. Like, I don't see.
A friend.
But okay, 37 minutes is a little different.
And then I heard that she asked for immunity. I don't see that in this report. But
Yeah,
I heard that when she talked to police, she asked for immunity, and I can't find that report.
Well, when you have a lawyer that's representing you that is, you know, the lawyer on call for billionaires, you're not going to get charged with anything.
Oh, of course not. What? Unless you're OJ, that poor guy. You know, he still has that award out there for information leading to the arrest of the real killer. You don't do that if you're guilty. You know what I mean?
You want to know what he doesn't have?
What?
His Heisman Trophy?
He does not.
Man, that's so low, bro.
Man, I don't want to get into conspiracies about OJ.
What? I'm sorry. Is there? I was
OJ's
bullshitting.
So okay, I don't know whether it's irregardless of whether or not he did it. This is more of like, you know what? My thing is almost not a conspiracy. It is just that the idea of the media manipulated and used and spammed that story so hard, and the main goal was division. See, this is how I arrive at potential.
I mean, they haven't done that recently, though, have they?
No, they never did.
Never mind.
I mean, that's what I mean. They did it so hard with that. It's almost irrelevant to me. I mean, obviously he did it. Let me really put that. But unless there was a greater, unless you believe everything about the Star Whackers and the Illuminati sacrifices, stuff like that.
That's a little too much.
Yeah, I mean,
if that's your thing, it's potential. It could be potentially the case. No, if that's your thing, and
I was
the
laughing at this.
We laugh at that, but the reason anyone could even entertain that is how they use the story. They use the story for so much division that you would think, well, maybe they did create the whole situation and help them get off just to piss a bunch of people off to keep the division going.
Well, I laugh because you two were talking about the Illuminati like immediately, like you started, and he's like Illuminati. But like my problem has always been with him. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. Is that I don't see an end goal or what they want. World domination, okay, and I also don't see how it has been a continuous thing for hundreds of years. Like
thousands. No, it's actually thousands.
Okay,
I know the Bavarian Illuminati came back in the 1776.
That makes it even worse. Like they haven't won yet. Like that's a lot of time on the clock that they've had not to win. And I don't understand how, like, even with like the uber rich people that you don't even hear about, right? Like it gets passed down to their people, like to their kids, like generational. Like why would they want to do all this crazy shit with owls or whatever? Like, I just don't get what the end goal is.
Well, part of it is, and this is actually ironic enough, it's religious. Yeah, this is their belief system. So there really is no end goal. This is just in the same way a Christian goes to church and believes in God. Theoretically, I'm not gonna say ideally, but theoretically, they sacrifice things and pray to Molech. That's just what they believe.
Well, so I'm cool with that part. It's the part about like they control everything and they're trying to divide for what purpose is what I'm wondering.
Well, divide and conquer has allowed them to put in whatever crazy ass laws they want.
Why? Like for what? Money? It's all about money.
Maybe
for evil's sake. This is our religion. We're just evil fuckers.
I don't think it's for evil's sake, because I don't think they go ha ha ha, we're evil.
And Nancy Pelosi did it on camera the other night.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, sometimes shapeshifters forget how things work.
Sorry.
All I'm saying is I don't have a problem with Moloch. That's it. I'm not saying either way. I'm not saying I like him or don't. I don't know him. I've never met him. Maybe
somebody's been out in the Grove.
Is that the thing Alex Jones tried to sneak on?
Yeah, the Bohemian Grove. And that owl is not Molech. I think it's some other god. Molech is a bull god, apparently. But whatever.
By the way, I had a great quote the other day on Literature Devil. Ever heard of him? I was on his channel.
Oh man, cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. And I forgot why we were talking about Alex Jones, but talking about like how like he's been right quite a bit. And what I said was I was like, yeah, but like if he wasn't so him, he would have more credibility. But he also wouldn't be in a position to where we were saying he would have more credibility because
he would have accidentally fallen over and landed on some bullets if people didn't think he was a quack.
I was going to go a little bit different. The only reason he's reached this this level of like awareness or like popularity, what have you, like is because he's Alex Jones, right? But that also takes away any type of credibility that you can give the guy or just on the surface, right? You look at him, he's like, they're turning the car. You're like, oh, this dude's crazy. But they did turn the frogs gay. I don't know why I went kind of Irish with that at the end.
But I mean, okay, here's another thing. A lot of people don't believe the narrative of the past few years. And they did a lot of nefarious things. Why did they do all these nefarious things if they were already really powerful, rich people? Why do these mega tech corporations who are already, too big to fail because of how dependent we are on them, why do they still go out their way to censor things and do things for agenda? Why, these are things that we can, that aren't, some Molech thing in the woods. This is something we've seen. Why would they lie so much about this Koof stuff? You know what I mean? Why would they do that if, again, these are already the most rich, most powerful people on earth? Why did this happen that we can confirm happened?
Well, what do people with power always want? More power.
Exactly.
They want more power. They want to maintain that power as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
why
really
Bill Cooper? Why do certain individuals? And I don't want to become one of these individuals. Vigilante loves his life. He's living good. He's happy. So, nothing happened to me. But what happened to Isaac Cappy? What happened to Bill Cooper? What happens to these individuals? And why do they have mysterious endings? You know what I mean?
They caught a case of Clintonitis.
Yeah, and why is there so much stuff with the Clinton? So I think a lot of it is less of one group coordinating everything that's always happening. And this can even go for the sports thing, because when I really think about practicality, only so many people could really be at the top. But what it is a bunch of people operating in a world that we don't see, think with a whole different rule set for how to operate. So a lot of times we are seeing these people go against each other, but we don't really, what we see is just like a surface level of what's happening. It goes deeper than that, because how come, the Clintons have so many people that have, had mysterious ends that have connections to them that aren't positive? How is that the case?
Hey, people slip and fall and land on bullets. It happens all the time. Forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, I mean, I get where you're coming from. It's like, how can you keep something a secret for thousands and thousands of years? And if you're already so powerful, why? But people are just fucking evil. And then there are people who come out and say, oh, especially if you're talking about music, there's a lot of even men who have come out and say, yeah, I had to do some, listen, if that's your thing, that's one
the casting
thing.
couch stuff.
But yeah, there's been men on the casting couch, so to speak, and music and entertainment and acting.
I mean, hell, just look at Harvey Weinstein. Like, apparently all that shit was known way back in the 90s.
It's what you call an open secret.
Yeah, an open secret. I mean, I remember seeing this clip of was it
Stephen
Debbie Harry?
No.
Yeah, that too. Stephen McFarlane made a joke about.
No, I can't remember, Nick.
Yeah, I think it was Debbie Harry, and she said, "Oh yeah, someone asked her a question about Weinstein, and she's like, oh yeah, don't go into a room alone with him," or something like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she actually openly said that on camera somewhere. I think I may be misremembering something, but I'm pretty sure I saw that clip.
No, I know someone said that line when they were asked about Weinstein. I don't know if it was Debbie Harry, but it might have been. But as far as I remember,
blonde. I think it was someone blonde.
I do remember someone said, "Don't go into a room alone with that dude."
Speaking of stings, what about Ep? Because I don't know if I can say his name on this platform, and I don't want
you not. I stepped away for a moment and I come back. I'm like, oh, okay.
There was also a very close associate of him that used to acquire, let's call it his products, who accidentally fell and landed on some
projectiles.
Sheets when he was in prison around the same time that they had a power outage.
Accidents happen. Cameras go out.
3 people that associated with him all.
Yeah, they were older. Things happen.
That's true.
And then of course you get His Royal Highness Randy Andy.
Wait, Handy Randy?
No, that's a different one. This
Oh.
her hands are much bigger.
Yeah, I was about to say
And
Handy
bloodier.
Randy. He's known to show up in the chat sometimes. By the way, look, I don't know, man. I've just been sitting here. I've been sitting here with you the whole time, bro.
Listen, if Vigilante doesn't wake up, man, y'all better do something. Y'all better say, scream, holler, like something happened.
Wait, what happened?
Or if Mad,
Yeah,
if something
same. I'm
happens
not
to Mad.
gonna
Yeah.
Alt F4 up myself. So if that ever happens, it's a lie.
I promise you, I will never try. I would never shoot myself in the back 4 times.
Yeah,
I promise.
And simultaneously die of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, we see there's enough. My whole point for that whole ramble, and I hope I didn't get your channel into the same boat my channel's in, but is hey, we see enough weird stuff in the world. Just like, why did the viewership just jump so high?
So it didn't. I've been seeing it rise over the past like 20 minutes. We were at 30 for a little bit. Even if you look in the private chat, I was like, hey, we're up to, what did I say, up to 40?
Yeah, it's gone back up again.
Yeah. Like, and that was a while ago. So it's not all at one time. It may look like that if on y'all side or whatever, you see I am actually seeing a growth. It'd be great if some of these assholes that come in here, I don't know, subscribe, hit the like button, share.
Yeah, please share and sub and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Because we're writing down names. Someone is somewhere.
Come on, you cheap bastards! It's free, for God's sake.
But
there you go.
Are you looking at me when you said that, or Nick?
I was looking directly at you.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, yeah, this is the first time I think we've had it happen twice in a stream.
Oh wait, so it did it drop down? Did it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It dropped down as soon as we really got talking about sports.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because when I left, you were at 70, I think it was, and then I've just come back a little while ago, and you were at 30.
Yeah, it dropped to like, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that. But on the analytics, I was trying to explain this earlier because we were talking about it. I was telling them like we've been watching like we're being not referred. Fuck.
Recommended. Yeah,
recommended. Thank you.
There's a bunch of streams that seem to end around 6 o'clock my time, and for whatever reason, this stream seems to always get put right next to it, and it'll be like 98% of the traffic comes from, and it's some Middle Eastern stream doing gaming or something, or some cooking show or something. Yeah, it's always coming from one video, and it's just like must be the next video that's in the list.
Yeah, but the people stay for a good long while.
They do. They're usually here about an hour. By the way, real quick. So I had all of my lights on in case I was going to be on for like an hour and a half into this motherfucker before I was like, why don't I just turn these off? Because shining in my light.
In the dark, bro.
Wait, who has time to switch really fast? To who? To what?
She's calling you a switch.
Man, I've never been called a road twitch. Can anybody name that movie? Or tell me what a road twitch is?
I'm drawing a blank.
Maximum Overdrive, yo.
Oh, I was muted.
Not familiar.
Never mind.
You did say it. Whatever.
Yeah, that always happens.
Anyway,
one of King's best.
So we're gonna slowly walk away from where we were, and we'll talk about anything else. Vince, you said you're getting ready to go get some sleep.
I
should
a
probably
topic
get
that
to
might
sleep,
be
'cause
interesting.
I've been rambling forever, so I'll
Grant,
let you
were
guys
arguing
have
you were arguing with Thought Slime in his chat, apparently.
Oh, hold on, we're gonna get to that. I think Vince is about to bounce though.
Yeah. All right, so hey, to the 60 people that showed up, if you want to sub to me, I do streams too, and I was actually doing a stream, and I realized I had OBS still going, so apparently I recorded this stream. Even though that stopped mine, so that's great.
So
but yeah, please.
Was that your technical difficulty stream?
Yes, my technical difficulty stream. That's literally
I
what
had to do my
it,
watch
though.
later, so I won't have to now.
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half because I came here. But I did have technical difficulties getting games running, which is what happens every fucking week. But so check that out. I also stream about other stuff. I did a Batman stream the other day. I didn't like the movie as much as everyone else did, but I still like parts of it. So yeah, check that stuff out. Please sub to me. Please sub to all these fine gentlemen here, and sharing, like, and all that good stuff for Matt. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you everyone later.
Yeah, I got your link in the chat, and I only do that to people I enjoy having on. That's what Nick and Sam has never had a link put in the chat.
Oh, bullshit.
Hey, V-Dub, man, I'm really glad you came in. I would love to go back and talk some sports sometime as well. Yeah, man, definitely. I'm gonna start inviting you to these every time, like as much as I can, man.
I may not be able to make all of them because
of course
crazy, but yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool. And hey, Courtney, you unsubbing. That's what happens with every sub I have. Everyone unsubs. I probably have been subbed to 1,000 times, but I've lost so many fucking subs over the years that I don't have but like 690, which keeps going down. All right, thank you all.
I saw you. Yeah, you're 692, man. Oh, hey, I'm closing that gap finally, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna pass. A lot of people have passed me. Everyone's passed me.
You passed me.
I think it's racism,
dude. You passed me at one point, and I was like, "This motherfucker been doing it for 3 minutes."
Yeah. Oh, that's how I feel about everybody. Honestly, that's how I feel about this motherfucker in the corner, Mr. Grant Gregory. He's
don't
at
even get me started.
500 already. I'm like, Jesus, I'm never. Brightest Day was a channel that I helped get to 100. He's already at 1,000. Same with Nerd Porter, even though with him it happened a lot faster. And so I'm like, I literally helped a couple channels get their first 100. They're already at 1,000. And there's guys like Mr. Grant Gregory, my man, MVP, that are just like, and obviously even motherfuckers Valiant Renegade. We used to get confused for each other, but now he's too much of a big star for that to happen. He has way more stuff.
Oh, that's I thought y'all two were the same person.
I still call him VW all the time, and he doesn't like it.
Well, no one gets it anymore because, like, no one, like, what you talking about, the guy that matters and this fat loser? Like, what?
Well, I mean, in all fairness, you look identical, so
of course.
Real quick, I kind of want to know what this gay. I mean, do you have to do like gay things on their app, or can I just do exactly what I'm doing here and just be on that one? Yeah, anybody? No, nobody would come with me. All right, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean,
come with you on the gay app. Yeah, that sounds great.
I think V-Dub's trying to say goodbye, guys. V-Dub's trying to say goodbye, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye on that.
But I'm trying to keep him here longer.
Pause.
Good night,
Peace.
Yeah,
bye, bro.
With you.
Not that way.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
See you, man. All right, back to the way it's meant to be. Only one minority.
Yeah, it's me, baby.
I was like, okay, they're just gonna leave me out there, aren't they? Jeez, fucking Australians are so unreliable.
Had it just been dead silent.
I didn't know if I was to make fun of Nick or Sam about something, and then I thought, well, Kai's going to say something anyway, and then he did. So,
oh, hey, so I'm not gonna do it tonight, but I am gonna start doing my intro on other channels. I'm gonna start. I don't want to break kayfabe here, but like, I like the whole idea of coming on and rapping really bad as part of my intro. Like so far, it's just been like, my name is Matt. I'm here to say that it's my happiness that people think I'm gay, right? You know, like real bad. But I'm trying to expand that a little bit more. So that's how I'm gonna be doing my intros, like on the dump and wherever else. Like not important. I'm gonna never do that on World Class Bullshitters, but the other lesser channels. Anyway, this is me. Let's see here.
That sounds fun.
Dude, we were under 500 for a long time, man. And then we hired a new chief executive officer of marketing, technology, and diversity, Mr. Grant Gregory. And we've been kicking ass pretty much ever since then, man. We'll be doing a lot. We're trying to get it started on Odyssey, but I don't know what's happening that thing. I keep clicking on like analytics and it gets like never loads, and I don't know how to multi-share. It's a whole big thing that we're gonna
Odyssey's one of those things. It's annoying to get it started off, but once you get it on there, it's non-functioning for your end. You put something on YouTube and it'll transfer everything across there, and it'll be like you've done it all over there.
Yeah, I've already did all that. Like I'm talking about like if I want to stream on YouTube and Odyssey at the same time.
Oh yeah, I can show you how to do that.
Okay, cool. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, 500 is why won't you do it now? Man, Courtney is coming in just demanding. What is happening?
That's signature.
Like
I mean, it's
you're-
Courtney.
She gave me his
No,
my
my
stream one
numbers are
time. She's all do an accent. I said no. What? No.
First of all, I'll be
He's
honest.
like, I
like,
want to hear Morgan Freeman, bitch. Go.
yeah, I mean, like
I'm not a trained
to begin
seal.
with, like I normally don't even like interact with the chat this much. My goodness, now I'm getting yelled at. No wonder I don't do it. But no, anyways, we're definitely not going to go back to that to the football thing because all the kind of like, oh, this sports ball sucks. But I do have some other ones if you guys are interested. I will let y'all. Well, let's see if I can find a short one though. How about we do? Because I have a few options for you. We could do queer coded villains. It's a trope.
Oh no.
No, okay. We could do what makes a Spiderman. That's only 9 minutes. Critical race theory. Why the controversy? And let's see. We could do those. Or wait, here's some good ones. Sorry. Biden's giving free crack to all black people. New Fox. You know what? We'll do this one. Probably should have done it. Probably should have done it with VDub here. We'll do this one because I've never seen this guy's stuff before. I just came across.
Oh yeah, because he's a Democrat. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I will just say this: anytime you hear the word coding, replace it with the word stereotyping. That's it.
I knew my freaking computer teacher was full of shit. God, like coding.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Let's see what this guy has to say.
About this crack story? Y'all hear about this little crack story? I don't think too many streamers talked about it, but it is really interesting actually. It's another like right-wing false flag made up.
Not that many YouTubers talked about it. Okay, that's wrong. You know what he's like referring to, right? Is the crack pipes that were going to be handed out through this program. Like they give out like
that's what it was.
All that about?
Well, so what it is, there's this idea that like, well, they're going to be doing crack and heroin anyways. Why don't we just give them clean needles and clean crack pipes so that they, don't whatever, right? Like that's the thing. And
so
people
they're
are like
sanitary at least while they're
right. I don't think I mean that's fine, but like I think it would be a better focus on education or like something to help them recover rather than feed into their addiction. That's just me.
Meme. I heard nothing of it. Yeah, it stayed in a lot of like right-wing memes, like a lot of right-wing circles. But yeah, it's really interesting actually.
Are there a lot of cuts?
Now, it looks like it. Not just right wing. There are a lot of lefties who don't like Biden either. Just remember that.
So, let's talk about this real quick. So, you said not too many of you guys heard about Biden giving free crack. Biden, little did you know, if you kept.
Okay, at no point did anyone make the claim that Biden was giving free crack.
No, he was just encouraging people to do it with
there's
utensils.
There's a big difference, and I want to see when he clears it up in
up to date with the right-wing news cycle. You would have heard that Joseph R. Biden Jr. has been giving away free crack, to black people in inner cities to fund racial equality. Yep, that's true. He's out here.
Okay, couple things. One, again, not the it wasn't crack, and it's not that he has been doing it; it's that they were going to do it. Like
he's pogging up. Like we need to give these black people.
Yeah, he's taking small nuggets of truth and he's conflating them and then adding his own narrative on it and then bringing it back to the original point, saying, "Well, I'm going to disprove it by disproving these points that I just made up. Therefore, the original point that I'm making is also false because they're somehow connected."
But it's even worse than a straw man though, because like it's in an entirely different thing that he is saying that is being given to all black people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is it's automatically started off that way, but he'll add little bits and pieces that people say about different things and then conflate them to something else, straw manning them. to make his original point seem false, because it automatically is false because no one's ever said that.
Right, of course. Yeah. By the way, this is still up, dude. Like he's never had, like, no one's ever said, hey, maybe you need to go change that fucking title of your stream. No, it grabs people's attention. Hey, can we change the name of this stream to Biden gives free crack to white people? Don't do it.
So we can finally reach pure
you want me to?
Racial equality.
Absolutely not. Do not do it. I was kidding.
All right. That's what's happening. If you didn't know, wild stuff, right? Truly a man of the people. Biden 100% truly a man of the people, giving the people what
is
they
this
want.
the methadone clinic thing or
Biden
something?
Administration funding crack pipe distribution says it's needed for
okay, so he sees what it actually is, right? He's reading that is crack pipe.
Okay,
Anybody,
so
can we get a poll on whether or not he's going to correct himself or say anything about what he's been calling it? Can we get a poll on that real quick?
Probably won't.
All right, I'll do a poll in a sec.
Thank you.
Needed for racial equality.
Yes.
I mean, are they
No.
suggesting that-
Sorry. Real quick. Equity, not equality. Equity.
So is whoever that wrote this article, are they suggesting that the Biden administration thinks black and brown people need to do more crack in cleaner equipment?
Right. Well, because I guess as far as equity is concerned, wouldn't it be the point that, white people, they have such better like crack experiences than black people? It's because, like, you know, they have things that we don't, like clean crack pipes. So the equitable thing is to give black people free crack pipes that are equal to or better than the white people's crack pipe. I'm sure, but real quick, I'll go to the.
We'll ask Ripper because he likes to call people crackheads. So
yeah, the CIA sold the. Okay, all right, don't need that on the channel. I believe Mama Susan. Well, Mama Susan used to work for the CIA. I'm just saying. I don't know.
All right. So the other poll that we did, the results have come in. And it's, do you like these type of streams? It was 96% yeah, and 3% said no, with 27 total votes.
Oh, okay. Well,
so about half the people watching.
Free heroin works great in Germany and Switzerland, much better than methadone.
And there's the new polls up.
Nice. That's weird. I don't know in what way does it work. Like if it's
it might be that thing where
really high.
There's that saying, what's the point of the devil if he's acceptable? So maybe half the reason why people get into things like drugs and whatnot is a form of rebellion. So you take away that what do you call it? You take away that drive to rebel, and people go, well, no, I don't feel like it.
It's the prohibition of love, right? Like Paul talked about this. All right,
yeah, to a point, but heroin does make people feel really, really good.
True. There is that side to it, but there is like an extra value that we will place on something if we're denied it, if it is told, like if it's beyond our, like if you tell a little kid like, hey, don't look in that closet when we leave, it's going to drive them insane until they look at it.
What do you call it? "Quote unquote" forbidden fruit.
Well, yeah, exactly, right.
That's a clever
tastes
term.
sweeter because you're not meant to have it.
Did you make that up?
Oh, I think so. I've never heard it. Like Oscar Wilde. Oh man, Oscar Wilde said, I can resist anything but temptation.
That's pretty funny.
Yep,
I like that one.
Yeah. So my argument is that maybe that's the reason why it works, because people aren't tempted. It's readily available, so you're not really doing anything illicit.
Yeah, I mean, but I do agree that there should be some type. I'm not saying like guidelines. There are things that do not serve a health, like a reasonable purpose. That, you know what I mean? Like, what good is crack? What benefits
don't get
are
me
there?
wrong. I don't believe in making it legal or anything. I'm just saying, it's just speculation that perhaps the reason why numbers are down is because that psychological effect of because it's legal. There's no real drive to break, to rebel.
True. By the way, so Yeti's dad told him to stay away from mountain men, and look how that ended. Yeah, but like, yeah, he just kept going back with those double buttholes of his.
Yeah, I can't believe that they returned him.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Unmolested and everything.
But also though, like, don't forget, like, people under 21 really seem like they you know what I mean? Like they like.
Yeah, they go hard.
Yeah, it definitely built. Well, they're also young too. You know what I mean? Like you reach a certain age, it don't matter what we're talking about. You're not going to go hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, the more you tell people they're not allowed to have it, the more they want it.
I'm with you on this one 100%. Sure. I guess don't know. Like I definitely guess depends on what we're talking about to whether or not like there should be limitations on it, you know?
Yeah. All right. So 4 minutes into this poll, we're locked even at 50-50 whether he will correct his mistake with 20 votes.
What? Say one more time for me.
So I did the poll. Will this gentleman correct his initial mistake?
Yep.
And after 20 votes, we're split 50-50.
Really? Well, let's find out, man. I didn't know. That's surprising.
An HHS spokesman told the Washington Free Beacon that safe smoking kits purchased under the program will provide free crack pipes for users to smoke crack cocaine, crystal meth, and other illicit substances, the outlet has reported. Right? Would you look at this? Biden to fund crack pipe distribution to advance racial equality. 30 million.
Okay. Hold on. I keep forgetting we can see his chat. Has anybody said, "Hey, it's not crack like what you said"?
$1 billion is going to inner cities just so they can make sure that black people.
Oh, someone has crack. You know, I say he sold crack to. Okay, yeah. They gonna. It's that crack when you say, "Man, these people." By the way, I never like to compliment the chat, but our chat is definitely better than this guy's chat.
Oh yeah, easily.
Absolutely.
Wait, I like the gendered fluid because it's like Jennifer. Gender Yo, fluid. We're pogging up. Like, I don't know what that means. I would ban that person.
Oh, hang on. I remember reading up on the word poggers. It's a positive thing.
Yeah, I don't go into too much of a graphic detail.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, gender fluid.
No, it's not filthy or anything. It's just it's like, you know, when you describe something as poggers, it means it's awesome.
It's POGGIN, pogging up.
What's that?
I don't know. That's why I'm at. You were the one that said you looked into it.
That's when you play Pog. Or in Australia, what we had Tarzos, which was slightly different.
Oh, you didn't have Pogs, man?
That takes me back.
Dude, that's some badass slammers.
No, we had Pog, but we also had the ones that came with chips. Called Tarzos.
I don't know if you can see it, but at the very bottom of the chat, it goes, "I'm so confused," right? Like, I'm so fucking confused.
Would you look at this? This is also in the American News and the Post Millennial. Yep. Biden to send crack pipes to drug addicts for racial equality report.
No, equity. Fuck.
Wild, right? Biden, what are you doing? This is America. This is the America that Biden wants, to be able to send crack pipes to every black person.
Wait, so has he just made the shift into saying crack pipe?
Crack pipe, and not notice he also said to every single one, not just he wants to do this. He said he wants to send this to every single black person. It went from these small clinics and everything like that to every single one.
Well, what I'm talking about is the shift that he has made. Like, before he actually looked at an article, he was saying free crack for all black people. Then he read the article and saw that it's crack pipe. Now he, on his own, not reading, is like, now he's saying crack pipe.
But he hasn't corrected his mistake, though. He's just saying
exactly. What I'm saying is he just shifted into now saying the correct thing, that it is a crack pipe versus crack,
which is what we said that he would do, and then go back and then change it, saying, "See, it's not crack. These guys are wrong."
Maybe
every American was going to have a chicken in every pot. Biden makes sure that there's going to be crack in every pipe. All right. He's gonna make sure of it. Our good friend.
You're doing it
Marco
again.
Rubio made a little thing about it as well.
The Biden administration is going to be sending crack pipes and meth pipes targeting minority communities in this country.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. Well, I think they canceled it or whatever. Yo, Mr. White, the president wants us to start cooking. Wait, it's crack, not meth. Never mind. Meme ruined. What? Yeah, I don't know about this. Is this a methadone clinic or something? Oh, yeah, that was. Man, I thought he would have had
I know
more people
that sounds insane. I know that
say
sounds
something about
too
it.
crazy to be true. They confirmed
This is
it.
Clinton era shit.
Yep. Sounds insane. Sounds too crazy to be true. Weird how that works. Weird how that sounds, huh?
They call them smoking kits, and they say it's about equity, but they have in essence confirmed that they're going to be mailing and sending pipes that can be used to smoke crack and meth to underserved communities in America.
Wild how that's
Yeah,
happening. Right?
that is
Just like
happening,
the
yeah.
Obama phone. Truly, Obama gave them Obama phones so they could.
What is this? Hold on. I can't see the chat, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm not doing anything over there. Hey, Tom. I don't know what I'm voting for. Oh, I don't know where Sam is. That's your brother. Sorry. Yeah, so I can't. Oh, have you been highlighting chat? I haven't. I've been over there in the video. All right, great. I'm by myself. So while I'm by myself, Wookie,
What do you
you're
mean? I'm talking to you.
You're no, you weren't.
You're muted, apparently.
Oh shit! Sorry,
Wookie-
I was muted.
Well, because I asked if you
Oh.
guys ever heard about the Obama phone, and I was gonna ask Wookie if he's ever heard.
I know there's a Pokemon called Obama Snow.
Wait, hold on, guys.
It's an ice type.
Not saying this guy is right or wrong. However, he has 3 question marks in his description.
That's true. That's the sign of real journalism, asking questions.
Wow. But did we ever get an answer on the Obama phone? I've never heard of the Obama phone.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it was. I remember hearing about it years ago. I think it was supposed to be given to kids in school or something. That's all I remember.
Well, we'll see.
Call up their crack dealer, and Biden is giving them pipes to smoke their crack. Probably one of the saddest things. Another example of how racial equality once again is a lie and a farce.
By the way, you see how he switches, like he interchanges equality and equity as if they are the same thing, or
Yeah, well,
they're-
they are in his argument. That's the point.
Yeah.
Hearing from Candace Owens talk about how racial equality is actually cringe, and how truly racial equality is being
Racial equity.
shittier to Black people. But instead, these no good, darn dirty Democrats trying to keep them on not only the Democratic plantation, but now in the crack lab, are now sending crack pipes to these people.
No, they wouldn't be in the
Probably
crack
one of
lab.
the
They're the
saddest-
consumers.
Yeah, dude, you don't let no. You
Yeah. Didn't you watch Breaking Bad? God.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Heard. And even Marco Rubio is completely dumbfounded. He said that it's too wild to be true because it
Wait. No, hold on. He's saying that he was no. Yeah, he did say it's so crazy, like you don't think it could be true. He's not saying it's not true.
He's not saying it's not true. He's saying
No.
this thing is so dumb. I can't believe they're actually trying to push this.
Yes. And he just said even Marco Rubio is like, what's happening?
It's a lie. Just like most things just like everything conservatives say.
There
it's
you
a
go.
lie.
There it
So
is.
What
There's the
is happening?
conflation.
That's the question.
Yeah, what is
so
happening?
What Biden did was
Here we
he talked about how he's going to be putting through an executive order setting aside $30 million
Mhm.
around the country to set up safe injection sites. Yep, you're right. Literally just safe injection sites. And
That's not even true. It was a kit. Like, it's not to fund the sites, it's to fund the kits that will be at those sites. So
Yeah.
we're off there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but he's not going to argue that. That's the point.
And so what they did is they said that these safe injection sites that the cities would put up were going to we're going to be required to purchase things like safe injection kits to ensure that to stop the spread of
I like it. I like in each chat someone's calling it a Biden pipe.
Bloodborne.
That's funny.
Stuff like that. So it would bring down the diseases that drug addicts got when they were busy being addicted to drugs, right? Bare minimum, too much. Bare minimum research is too much for these people.
Let's get the fuck out of here, bro.
100%. Let's listen to Candace Owens talk a little bit about this. Huh? How's this sound? We love Candy.
She joins us now. Candace, thanks so much for coming on. So, I mean,
Can you
I
go
guess
back
they can
like
tell
5
you they
seconds so I can
love
hear
you.
what he said because I missed the first part of that.
Oh, sorry. Are you talking about like when I went get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Minimum, too much. Bare minimum research is too much for these people. 100%. Let's listen to Candace Owens talk a little bit about this, huh? How's this
Talking
sound?
about doing
We
bare
love
minimum
Candy.
research when he's done research live and then changed what he's just said live.
Yeah.
She joins us now. Candace, thanks so much for coming on. So, I mean, I guess they can tell you they love you, but if they're encouraging you to smoke more crack, maybe they're lying.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the Biden administration loves Black America and loves America and cares about the health and well-being.
By the way, I think Candace Owens is a very pretty woman. I do not like what's happening, what's happening right now with her. Like, I don't. She doesn't
I
look.
like her when she was a YouTuber and she had like less than 5,000 subs. She would actually answer my questions.
Oh, dude. Oh man, we got to get rid of this because there's something more important. So,
Oh, okay.
bro.
You finally get a woman on screen and then you go, nah, too much. I understand.
Yeah, that was it for me, bro. What happened with Thought Slime? For those that don't remember, we've covered a couple of Thought Slime's videos, and he's an idiot.
Well, we tried.
I think honestly, mad.
Yeah.
I think idiots being kind, don't you?
That's what we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at him responding to Grant because
that'd be fucking hilarious.
So the few days ago, maybe a week ago, not that long, but I was
No, it was
on
like 2 days ago.
yeah, I was on YouTube or whatever, just looking for something to put on while because I had already watched everything I had been on that week, so there really wasn't anything for me to look at, because I only watch things I'm on. But I saw that Thought Slime was fucking live streaming, and he's talking to the chat, like even I don't know if he got any super
he
chat.
was really only talking to the Twitch chat, but when I went over there, there was only like 18 people in the thing when I went over there. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to get my question answered. I think the first thing I said to him, I said, "So, do you still hate Dean Cain?" And I just got him off on a rant.
Yeah, it did. You kept getting what? You kept getting banned?
Well, no, I got a timeout, and then I think it was like 300 seconds, and then nothing else happened after that. I couldn't do it. I've only got the one Twitch account, so I just I'm like,
he
well,
couldn't simply say, I mean, like a grown up, he couldn't simply say, no, I don't like Dean Cain, and then just leave it go. He had to time you out as well.
Oh
like a
no, there was
child.
other stuff about that. In regards to he said, he called him another weird name like Caney or Kano or something like that. And then he said what he didn't fully say in his video was something about it's not brave to do that over there. By Dean Cain saying that basically equates to there's no issues with LGBT in America, and that's completely wrong, and that's what he was arguing about. And then when I was trying to type the next part about it was when I was I've been timed out for 300 seconds. So, and I was just like, well, I don't really want to wait 5 minutes. And then I went and did something, come back, and then I couldn't. Yeah, and so that's what happened. There was other stuff in between where I asked him a couple of questions, but I don't even know if those videos are still up.
Oh, you know what? Oh man, I thought about it, but I didn't end up doing it. I should have. Because I'll be honest.
I'm looking now, but I can't see. Actually, I'll look on his Twitch. He might be saved on his Twitch.
I'll be honest. I was trying to find where he was like responding to you, but fuck me, he was so boring, dude.
It was like an hour and something into it at least.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Nick in because we're gonna wrap it up soon. Nick and Sam's channel in the chat. Yeah, make sure that you subscribe over there. Don't get subscribed. Watch it. Watch too. I'll never get it. That line will never get old for me. But yeah, so also, guys, I've been getting a lot of emails and stuff for support and asking what they can do in our battle against other YouTubers that we don't have to mention.
Found it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right, give me a minute. I'll go back to the beginning of it.
Yeah. If you can find, we'll keep going. If you can find where that whole thing started, I can probably do a little bit of that. Or should we save it for next time? I think we should save it for next time.
Yeah, save it for next time.
Save it for next time. This is called a tease.
I'll download it. So
yeah, cool. It's called a tease, motherfuckers. Teasing that asshole.
Muffin lumbers. Yeah.
Yeah, Buttercup.
Yeah.
Word to your mother.
Stretch Armstrong, my brother.
Oh, Kai. I forgot about Kai.
Oh, yeah.
I put Nick and Sam in there. I forgot Kai was here, but he's been so quiet, dude. I thought he was like asleep again.
Well, I've spoken up here and there, but like,
hey, too busy making another NFT.
I actually do need to do that. I was working on stuff for my show since I'm starting my show up again this week. I was kind of interrupted on everything because of my move, but I'm all moved and I got my internet thing figured out, so I should be good to go tomorrow. So
yeah, I'm fine if y'all go. If you want to, no, you shouldn't harass anybody. But that's not the one I'm talking. I'm talking about some individual who decided to shoplift one of my bits that I'm known for, that I do. It's fine, and put it in his video. The problem though is that his exposure, his platform is so much bigger than mine. No reason why. I guess the way it is, he got here first, I guess. But now people are gonna see him do it, and then when they see me do it, they'll be like, "Dude, you stole that from that guy." And I can't be like, "No, dumb. Like I've been doing it forever." Yeah, whatever. We believe him because he's tall, or if he is, I don't know.
And long,
and British.
Ish, adjacent.
Yeah, and his co-host is a dog. That's it. No more hints.
Oh goodness.
And it's called e-fapping. No more. That's it. That's the last one. No. All right, I'll be honest. No, he really didn't. What happened was in his latest video, he used spaceologist, which is a joke that I've done so many fucking times, like ballologist, tokenologist, uterusologist. Did I do that one? It's a good one. So write that one down. Anyway, yeah, he used it, and it just so happens I was on Literature Devil's channel the other day. Ever heard of him? And I made a joke about him and ladders. I forgot even what I said about the ladder. I just remember I was gonna sneak over to England. Oh, I know what it was. We were talking about how, like, apparently if you're carrying a clipboard or a ladder or whatever, like, people won't mess with you. You can just get into anywhere. And I was like, dude, I should grab a ladder and go to England and just walk into Mahler's house so he can put me on a EFAP.
You might want to pick up that name you just dropped.
Ooh, nice. What, Mahler?
Yep.
That's who I've been talking about. That's who stole my shit.
Yeah. Before you go like hint.
Well,
now you're just dropping that name.
Well, Grant gave it away with his hint. He didn't know how to do it with subtlety.
I thought you were going to be subtle.
I was. You're the one that Grant wasn't. Well, after you had already like given them enough hints to where anybody could figure out, you really said his name rhymes with Rawler.
Oh, yeah, fuck off, I did.
Yeah, but he is tall though. Like he's 6'8".
Bloody hell.
I don't think he's 6'8". Don't listen to me. Why do you take me Nick? Never believe the first thing I say. Wait until like the second or third. It'll be closer to the truth.
This is why you made an awesome witness in court.
I did. I mean, if a judge person, let's say a judge needed, clarification on what a high five was, I may have demonstrated that for him. Whether or not he asked.
Are you actually going to answer It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs question?
What's up?
Are you short?
Oh,
are we not to believe that?
I mean, yeah, sure. Relative to some people, not to others. Like,
well, that's fair.
I mean,
to Yao Ming, yeah. To
am I?
No.
Man, dude, I've actually lost an inch because of the compression of like my spine or whatever.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the weight of holding the show together.
The what?
That's nuts.
What table?
An inversion table.
Yeah, it's like a torture rack for your spine.
Oh no, they're marvelous. Just make
Yeah,
sure you
they
got something
work.
soft beneath you, just in case
You
flip.
break. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll close it out there. Anybody got any last thing?
Nothing that I can think of.
Cool. By the way,
I'll
you know
see
how
guys
like
weeknights at 11 p.m. Pacific. Yeah.
you're gonna start that back up?
Yeah, I'm starting up this weekend.
Oh man, we're gonna have to work something out here because I don't want to step on you.
Oh, it's all good. You can do your stream in the middle of mine. I still generally go longer.
You do. That's the problem. Like I'm gonna have to start jumping in the middle of them. You do it for like 12 hours. I'm like, man. Some say
I'm trying to keep it to 3 to 4. I'm trying to keep it 3 to 4.
We can talk, but anyway, that's gonna do it for us here. Thanks to everybody that's watching, and if any of that big number crowd, if you didn't subscribe, you're banned from internet. Bye, everyone.
Ta-ta.
What, you going to treat them like a Russia?
Oh, why did you say them? Oh, we're in so much trouble.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy?
Hey, law dog, law don't go around here. And I say, law
If you can't you can't say that country, or like the next thing you know, Mama Susan gonna come in here and be like, why'd you say it? And I'm gonna be like, Mama Susan, it wasn't me, it was one of the twins. She goes, I don't know who they are.
And then next thing you know, she's banning the entire country.
Bye.
She's doing what to the entire country? Look, guys.
I mean, at least I didn't say the other one, ukulele or whatever it's called.
Oh, I have a didgeridoo.
You do? Do you know how to play it?
Of course. I mean, I can't do the thing where like you breathe and play at the same time, like you know what I mean?
That's called playing it.
That
well,
helps with sleep apnea. Didgeridoos. Learn to play didgeridoo. Get rid of your sleep apnea.
But I can't do the breath thing. Like the thing that you
that's
do.
what gets rid of the sleep apnea. You need to practice.
You mean breathing?
No, it's not It's not breathing. I know breathing. It's the breathing for special thing. Are we still live?
Oh, I don't